Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Whether it's a clutch touchdown pass, a game-winning dunk, or an impressive dash to the finish, we want to highlight the best performance of the week. The winning performance will receive $500 courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Catch the biggest moments and winners all season long on ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. Nominate them today by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Welcome to being treated like a pro.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Plans radio station.
From Vero Beach, down to Boca Raton and out to the Muck. We've got you covered all over Palm Beach County
in
and the
sports
Treasure Coast.
and in life, how you move matters. So when injuries or pain get in the way, the orthopedic specialists at HSS Florida provide world-class care to get you moving again. From non-surgical and surgical care to personalized rehabilitation, HSS Florida offers the same quality and expertise you expect from HSS, the world's #1 in orthopedic care, with 2 convenient locations in West Palm Beach and Wellington. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida. Choose better, move better.
Elevate your drive with the new 2026 Range Rover Velar P250S, where sleek design meets powerful performance. Lease it today for just $749 a month for 36 months, with $6,995 due at signing. This is your chance to command the road in signature Range Rover style. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and make sophistication yours. Land Rover, above and beyond.
A resort destination beyond compare, yet conveniently close to home. The Breakers Palm Beach offers everything you desire with the service you deserve in a breathtaking oceanfront setting. Immerse yourself in unparalleled seaside glamour and enjoy all the Breakers has to offer as you create lasting memories with those who matter most. The best part, you don't have to travel far to feel worlds away. Visit thebreakers.com or call 1-800-BREAKERS today.
From Vero Beach, down to Boca Raton and out to the Muck. We've got you covered all over Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast on ESPN 106.3.
Well, we're coming to your city.
HSS Florida presents ESPN West Palm's High School Game Day. We're coming to your city. The biggest games, the most compelling stories, the area's best high school sports coverage. Supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather. ESPN West Palm High School Game Day is also presented by Kaiser University, South Florida Ford, Sports Certified by Vitacost, Moss Plus by Messi, Duffy's Sports Grill, Culligan, Racetrack, Safebound Moving and Storage, and the Boca Raton Bowl.
And we're coming to your city.
Welcome on into the HSS Game of the Week, presented by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather on ESPN 106.3. We have a special one for you. We are at the Muck Bowl. We are at the Pahokee Press Box. I'll tell you what, Coach Rolich and company, they've been taking care of us all day, and we are ready to go with a little early action of 5 p.m. start. Joining me, as always, is Coach Jimmy Bell, Mike Rizzo filling in for Christian Cat. I'll tell you what, Coach, I saw you coming up those stairs. I was pumped up. We get to do a game together again.
Yeah, man, I'm getting a little younger, so I don't move as well. I have to take my time coming up. But, yeah, I'm excited about this one. This is the 2025 edition of this Muck Bowl. I've done about 5 of these, and I don't think there will be one that's been better than this one.
Now, it depends on who you ask, but Glade Central, what I've seen, Glade Central 34 wins, Pahokee 22. So, yeah, it looks like we were right on that. And, Coach, you wanted to give a little shout-out to the Pahokee and the Glade Central community, you know, our good friend Coach Rolich as well, before we get the ball going here.
Well, so often you see, the Hatfields versus the McCoys, and you see the rivalry. But in the end zone, the south end zone, they've got some tables set up where there's a Glade Central and Pahokee alumni sitting at the same table. And so this is a beautiful thing. Great atmosphere here tonight.
Community, absolutely. And the kickoff is underway. We are underway here at Pahokee High School, and the return taken over the 42-yard line, so the Raiders are going to be setting up shop just around there on their own 42. So to loop you in on the coin toss, Pahokee got the coin toss. They won the coin toss. They are deferring to the second half. So the Glade Central Raiders with the football at their own 42. Coach, this is an offense that's led by Taj Barnes, over 1,300 passing yards on the year, 16 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. A freshman, I think, is who we're going to be looking out for today, number 15, Algernon Crawford, 646 yards and 9 touchdowns on the season. Shotgun, 3 wide, 2 to the right, 2 to the left, and that one caught at the line of scrimmage, immediately taken down. Pahokee getting a big stop on first down, Coach.
There's going to be a lot of energy in this game. Both teams are hyped. The officials are going to be very important because you hope they stay out of the way. You hope the players play it clean, play aggressive, be strong, but be smart about it. And that energy on first down there from Pahokee on the defensive side, Glades on the offensive side, I think you'll see that all night long.
So that was a quick stop. It's going to be 2nd and about 11 coming up for the Raiders. This is Barnes in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 2 right, spread formation. Pahokee showing a little blitz here off of the edge. Barnes making some adjustments at the line of scrimmage. He finally claps and gets the snap. He hands it off. That is Stintford in the backfield, and he is swallowed up by a host of Pahokee defenders. It's going to be 3rd and a mile coming up for the Glade Central Raiders. We are rocking here at Pahokee right now, Coach.
Yeah, as coaches, we always talk about having guys 4 to 5 yards within the tackle, at least 4 to 5 guys, but at that time, it was about 6 guys, and that's what you want. A lot of energy from the secondary guys coming in from the linebacker position. You got to put a hat on a hat and try to make those tackles.
So 3rd and long, 3rd and about 10 coming up for Glade Central. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Stintford, the lone back in the backfield. Taj Barnes going to have to make up for a couple of plays. Excuse me, I got 3 on that right side. Takes the snap. He drops back. He's looking deep. He throws to the sideline and popped. It looked like that number 15, that freshman we were talking about, Algernon Crawford, had a first down, but a big hit by the Pahokee defense. Blue Devils getting the ball.
Yes, sir. You know where your bread is buttered. You try to go to your big receiver. He gets hit on the sideline. Ball thrown a little bit behind him. Had it been thrown a little bit in his catch radius, he would have had a big first down on that play.
Big stop for Pahokee, a 3 and out for Glade Central. Let's remember last year, folks, we were at Glade Central. Coach Bell was on the call with Christian Catt, and Glade Central won in overtime. So Pahokee definitely wants their trophy back and to show up with their home fans today. We are about to get the punt underway here on 4th and 10 from Central's 42. Punt is away, Coach. Looks like a good one. That takes a favorable Glade Central bounce. He picks it up, Coach. Pahokee picks the ball up. He's on his own 3-yard line, and that's where he gets taken down. Coach, a special teams kind of meltdown there for the Blue Devils, as maybe that young man should have let that ball go into the end zone, but he tried to take it out. And Pahokee's going to have the ball, what looks like on their own 4-yard line coming up. But it could have even been worse. It could have been a touchdown for Glade Central.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Again, what you tell your return guy is you put your heels on the 10-yard line. If the ball goes beyond that, you let it go. But he decided, the return guy, to try to field it there. As you mentioned, they got a muff there, but they were able to recover the football.
So Pahokee is set up on their own 3. Glade Central with getting exactly what they needed on that punt. They went 3 and out. They went backwards. They went backwards by about 2 yards. But we'll see what Pahokee could do here as they set up shop on their own 3-yard line. And quarterback tonight, Xavier Mitchell, having a special year, 12 touchdowns. And just like Taj Barnes on the other side, he's got over 1,300 passing yards. He'll hand it off to Arnold, who is loose. Arnold down the sideline, 30, 40, close to midfield. And he runs out of bounds. One play, 35 yards. Pahokee set up, Coach Bell.
Yeah, I saw this Pahokee team early in the year against Cardinal Newman, and they were able to run the football on Newman, a tough defense. And they'll do more of the same here tonight with different formations. They got the guys bunched in tight, and all of a sudden able to get a crease on the outside of that defense.
Coach, you were telling me how much you like Samuel Arnold on the year for Pahokee. 973 yards and 8 touchdowns heading into this game, and he took that one.
Yeah, it gets better as the game goes on. Great vision at the running back position, and he's hard to tackle because he's so physical.
Offset backs in the backfield, direct snap to the ball carrier. We do have a flag on the play, Coach, and you are alluding to me for a hold.
Yeah, anytime you see that official throw it with the white hat, that's a hold inside there. So, again, you try to get a guy on the outside, a lot of speed for Glade Central. You got to get your hands inside, let him go if he tries to go out and make the tackle and redirect. So if you don't do that, the official's going to call it every time.
So quarterback Xavier Mitchell was actually out of the play for that. Taking the direct snap, I believe was his brother, Zachary Mitchell. But Xavier back into the game. It's going to be 1st and 20 coming up for the Pahokee Blue Devils. 3 receivers left, 1 right. The lone back in the backfield is Samuel Arnold. Mitchell takes it, hands it off, and gives it right to Arnold. He's going to gain about 3 yards on the play. 2nd down coming up.
Well, I think the opportunities in this game are going to be limited because both teams are going to run the football. So the team that makes the biggest mistake is probably going to lose this contest. There's going to be a lot of running of the football, 2 excellent running backs, but you've got to make a big pass down the field to try to get some chunk yardage if you're whatever offense you are.
So 2nd and long coming up for the Blue Devils. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Mitchell, the quarterback, and Arnold in the backfield. The always dangerous Samuel Arnold. Mitchell bobbles the snap a little bit, but Coach, he is going to go deep. He's looking for a man and incomplete. In the vicinity was number 15, Antoine Lawrence. Lawrence on the year, 279 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he is capable of that big play. Him and the quarterback just not on the same page there.
Yeah, just what I was thinking there, throwing the ball down the field. But again, remember the Aaron snap. You get the snap. Now you got to try to relocate and find that receiver. Well, he's out of your vision, so you just kind of throws it to a spot where he thought the guy was going to be. He wasn't there.
So 3rd and long coming up for Pahokee. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Arnold, the lone running back in the backfield with Xavier Mitchell. Mitchell takes a snap. It's play action. He's looking to go deep. He throws it deep. Looking for Lawrence, and it's just over his head. Incomplete. 4th down coming up, but Antoine Lawrence was in the vicinity. Pretty decent throw there by Mitchell, Coach.
Yeah, the coaches next door for Pahokee are excited because they knew it was there. You got to take advantage of those opportunities. The receiver stopped running on that play. When you see the ball is over your head, you can't hold your arms out. It's going to slow you down. You got to then drop your head, use both arms, and try to run through the ball. He didn't do that on that play.
Folks, Duffy's Sports Grill is a proud sponsor of ESPN West Palm High School Game Day. Duffy's once again voted the best sports grill with their award-winning burgers and wings, plus weekday lunch deals, including the Duffy's Double Play, starting at $7.99. Make sure you sign up for free to get your Duffy's MVP card and start earning rewards today. With over 80 TVs in each location, you will never miss a minute of the game or the biggest bouts that the weekend has to offer. Duffy's has everything. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. We do have a timeout here. We'll keep things here, Coach Bell. A couple of big plays missed for Pahokee through the air. You know, Mitchell, it looked like he had a couple of throws there that could have been caught by the receiver, Antoine Lawrence. But I think as the game progresses, you're going to see that passing game get better. And, Coach, this is a Pahokee team. They have a plethora of receivers with almost 300 yards. They got Kamari Foreman with 293, Antoine Lawrence with 279, O'Dexter Sims with 262. This is a team that could get it done in the air as well.
Yeah, they got to throw the ball down the field. But what it does to a defense also is even if you don't complete that pass, to know that you will take that chance down the field, they've got to back up. They can't dedicate extra guys to the box to try to stop the run. So I like what Pahokee's doing early in the game. They'll get some of those at some point. Should be a huge play if they do.
So Glade Central is going to have 2 upmen ready to get the ball back on 4th and long. Pahokee takes the snap. They punt it deep. It's inching past the 45-yard line. Takes a favorable Pahokee bounce, and what a punt this is going to be, Coach. It's rolling all the way back to the 19-yard line. Heck of a punt there by Pahokee, Coach, to flip the field.
That's what you want. You want your special teams to make plays for you, to help you out a little bit. You would think on the Glade Central side, you got to fair catch that because possession is 9/10 of the law. you lost about 20 yards on that possession because you let the ball roll.
Demarion Harris with the punt as well. He also plays linebacker. It was a good job there by that young man to flip the field. And I believe we do have a penalty against Pahokee. Coach, we'll monitor this as they are moving that ball up, so they're calling holding.
A block in the back.
Block in the back on Pahokee there, Coach.
And so they'll re-kick that. If I'm Glade Central, I'll make them re-kick that. But nevertheless, great punt there. That's what you want from your special teams. Flip the field, try to help you out a little bit.
Looks like that they're just going to take the field position there, Coach. And Taj Barnes coming back out for this offense. 2 receivers left, 1 right, lone back in the backfield for Glades is Armand Stintford. Stintford on the year, 15 rushing touchdowns. He has had a pretty good year so far for this Glades offense. Barnes takes the snap. He looks left, and he's got a man. It is caught, and he's got some space on the outside. That is Madrerion Blackman on the year. That's his 14th reception now. Good job there by Blackman on that drag route.
Yeah, comes in motion out of the backfield and does Blackman, and he's wide open in the flat. Nobody there. They run the other defensive backs off, and the quarterback put it right on him where only his guy could catch the football.
Madrerion Blackman, big catch there, almost to midfield. This Glade Central offense, they're currently sitting at the 47-yard line. Taj Barnes barking his orders. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Lone running back in the backfield is Stintford. He takes the snap, and he's going to do a quarterback draw here. Barnes running, tackled just short of the first down sticks. Gain of 8 there. Coach Barnes on the year, 3 rushing touchdowns. It's a dual-threat quarterback we got.
Just a lot of patience there at the quarterback position. A lot of times when you call that play for a quarterback, he gets really excited, and he wants to run real fast. Just patience on that, running behind his blockers, and gain 6 yards there on first down.
So 1st and 10, ball in Pahokee territory, right on Pahokee's 45. Barnes coming back to the huddle with the play. This is a storied rivalry. 34 wins for Glade Central, 22 for Pahokee. Pahokee won the previous 2 before last year, but Glade Central with that overtime win last year. Pahokee trying to get that trophy back, and we got a timeout on the field, Glades Central. We're going to keep it here, coaches. So I want to tell you about my good friends at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather. Florida Injury Lawyers are proud to be a presenting sponsor of High School Game Day on ESPN 106.3. If you've been in a car accident, call now for a free consultation. The sooner you call, the sooner the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather can start putting their extensive experiences and resources to work for you. You don't pay anything unless they make a recovery for you. Call right now at 500-HELP. That is 500-HELP with Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather. HELP is just a local call away. Offices in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, at Port St. Lucie. Coach, what's been the thing that stuck out to you so far about this game? You got 2 defensive stops here, but we got Glade Central driving down the field right now.
Yeah, both defenses are playing great. Again, not allowing anything down the field. A couple of passes, but nothing long down the field. Pahokee attempted to do so. Glade was right there defensively.
Glade Central in the pistol. Taj Barnes barking his orders. Gets the snap. Hands it off to Stintford. Stintford tries to bounce it, but the Pahokee defense swallows him up right at that line of scrimmage at the 45-yard line. Pahokee looking like they had a little extra oomph on that gang tackle,
You
Coach.
You better, because, again, you got 9 guys around the football on that tackle. It's personal. Don't get it wrong. Understand one thing. This rivalry is heated. A lot of respect between these 2 programs, but voted number 1 in the state in terms of rivalry of high school teams. You think about, in the north, you've got Jacksonville Reigns and Ribault. In the south, you got Miami Central versus Booker T. Washington, whatever school out of Miami you want. But this was voted number 1 for a reason. If you haven't seen a Muck Bowl, get it on your list.
So here we go. 2nd down coming up after the big play. Or rather, it's 3rd down. It was a big play on 2nd down. 3rd and about 3. Taj Barnes takes the snap, looking for one of his receivers. He steps up in the pocket, tries to dive for the first down. but he is going to be short. And we do have a correction from Coach Rolge. And listen, if anyone knows anything about the rivalry, it's my friend Coach Rolge. 23 wins for Glade Central, 10 for Pahokee, and he is calling it the 33rd Muck Bowl. We appreciate Coach Rolge here at the press box, taking great care of us, Coach Bell. But, I mean, when you think of rivalries here in South Florida, this is the one that you think
This
of.
is the one, and you mentioned it, Coach Eddie Lee Rose. I was here a couple of weeks ago, and, this is a guy who's been around Pahokee football, the community of Pahokee forever, over 40-plus years. Just really embraced me. I was, needing a little something to eat. He took me in and said, listen, even though it wasn't for sale, he still told the guy, give him something, and a lot of respect for him. So, again, 3 state championships for Coach Rose in basketball and 2 in track.
And he was helping coach Anquan Bolden back in the day during the youth football, as I learned. But we do have, I believe, a flag here, Coach. Now, if you're watching on the YouTube stream, you saw that punt, and I was surprised he actually caught it, Coach. I thought he let it roll in the back of the end zone, but he catches it. Ball's going to be on the 10 as of right now, but there's laundry all over the field.
Yeah, I didn't, unfortunately, from this angle, I didn't see it.
We're waiting. We're going to be waiting on a call from the referees here, as it's a personal foul on Glade Central and a personal foul on Pahokee. They're offsetting penalties, and it's going to be first down for Pahokee. So I guess, no harm, no foul. But Pahokee getting the ball back here, Coach. If you're head coach Carlos Lamons, what do you want to see? What do you want to see from your offense coming up here as we have our first water break of the half?
Well, we got to try to get a few drives here, flip the field, not only on a punt, but keep our offense on the field. Our defense has been out there quite a while. We got to stay focused and try to get our offense going here in the first quarter.
Folks, in sports and in life, how you move matters. So when injuries or pain get in the way, the orthopedic specialists at HSS Florida provide world-class care to get you moving again. From non-surgical and surgical care to personalized rehabilitation, HSS offers the same quality and expertise you'd expect from HSS, the world's #1 orthopedic care, with 2 convenient locations in West Palm Beach and Wellington. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida. That is hss.edu/Florida. Choose better, move better. Our good friends at HSS Florida. So Pahokee with the ball at their own 10. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Takes the snap and keeps it on a keeper, and he's on the run. Big play for Pahokee as Xavier Mitchell with a big run on first down. That's the 2nd straight time Pahokee has had the ball inside their 10. It takes the first play about 35 yards.
A lot of times the quarterback will put it in the belly of the running back, and he's indecisive. But Mitchell on that play decided, put it in the belly, draw the defender in, and all of a sudden he pulls it out and he goes around the right side. That's what you call a read option. He's going to read the left side defensive end. If he goes toward the running back, he'll keep it as he did on that play.
Mitchell on the year, 2 rushing touchdowns. Both of these quarterbacks, in Mitchell and Barnes, have a dual threat on the ground. 1st and 10, 2 receivers left, 1 right, man in motion. This is handed off to Samuel Arnold, tackled for about a gain of 2 for Pahokee, but tackled after a short gain. 2nd about 8 coming up for Pahokee.
Well, I've seen so many times those 2-yard runs turn into 8, 9, 10-yard runs as the game goes on, but you just got to be patient. Even though you don't get a lot in the early downs from Pahokee, you got to keep running the football to keep this defense honest.
We saw the last drive, Pahokee tried to go deep after the big play on first down, deep in their own territory, wondering if they're going to be pass happy again here. 2nd and 8, Mitchell takes the snap, throws, and that's blocked at the line of scrimmage, and it's picked off! Glade Central! Defensive lineman getting a big paw up there and picks it off. Glade Central going to be set up close to the 25-yard line of Pahokee. Coach Xavier Mitchell wishes he could have that one back.
Yeah, huge play on the defensive line there. But what happened was, instead of them cutting the lineman down, they allowed him to stand there, watch Mitchell in the pocket. They got in his throwing lanes, put their hand up, and on day 1, you're going to teach the tip drill. Usually that goes to the secondary, but unfortunately, the defensive lineman got it from Glade Central.
That's what the big hogs up front dream of, a play for glory and a play to get a big paw on the ball. Glade Central set up here near Pahokee's 30 as Barnes takes the snap. He's going deep, and that one is almost picked off. We got laundry on the field. I'm assuming this is going against the Blue Devils, Coach.
Yeah, the official there, she called holding on the defensive side, but both guys were jockeying for position, so it looks a little strange there. I can't see it. It's kind of hard from this angle, but that's what she called 10-yard holding penalty.
I believe that is two-way player Antoine Lawrence. And he truly is a special player on the offense and the defensive end. Lawrence on the year on offense, 279 and 3 touchdowns, but that one is going to go against him. And now Glade Central, ball on Pahokee's 20 after that big interception and penalty. 3 receivers right, 1 left, lone running back in the backfield is Stinford. Barnes takes it, looks right. He steps up in the pocket and steps back, now makes a throw, and it's incomplete. But that was a good job there, Coach, by Taj Barnes to avoid the pressure, try to make a throw downfield. It was incomplete to one of his mates.
He did. He got lost up in the shuffle, kind of lost him there for a moment. There were so many guys around him, but he comes out throwing, almost completed that, but just great defensive play there for the Blue Devils.
That was the intended receiver, by the way, Armand Stinford. Stinford on the year, 10 receptions for 73 yards, so he has made catches out of that backfield. Second down coming up, 2nd and 10. Glade Central, ball on Pahokee's 20 after the big interception. Taj Barnes, 3 receivers right, 1 left. He drops back. He wants it all in the corner of the end zone, but we have more laundry. I believe this is going to be another pass interference and or defensive holding on Pahokee, as Algernon Crawford, one of the more exciting freshmen in Palm Beach County with 646 yards and 9 touchdowns. He got roughed up a bit there on that play, Coach.
Yeah, I'll take it, though, because anytime you're beat deep, you always teach the defensive back to grab, hold, do whatever you got to do. Prevent that touchdown, because we still got a chance to come out and make a play. But if you let him catch it, all bets are off at that point.
So 2 penalties on this Pahokee defensive backfield. They are set up. Glade Central's offense is set up on that 10. 2:59 and counting in the first quarter. It's been a exciting first quarter, even with no points. Exciting first quarter. A lot of big plays for both sides. As now we have a timeout. The Pahokee Blue Devils are going to take a timeout here. Folks, I want to remind you, the 2025 Boca Raton Bowl is kicking off its 12th year Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium. The game will air on ESPN. 2 of the biggest and best teams from the group of 5 will battle it out for their shot at the title. More information at bocabowl.com. Follow along on Twitter, Boca Bowl, and Facebook.com/Boca Bowl for more updates. The 2025 Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd at beautiful Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Folks, also, our good friends at Land Rover. You want to know how you pull into the lot in high school in style? You do it with our good friends at Land Rover Palm Beach. Right now, you can lease the brand new 2026 Range Rover Velar P250S for just $669 a month with a 36-month lease, or check out the bold and rugged 2025 Defender 110 P30S. Yours for only $879 a month. Whether you're heading to the game or cruising to the beach, Land Rover Palm Beach has the luxury SUV to match your lifestyle. Stop by today. They're located on Okeechobee Boulevard, just past the Turnpike. That is our great friends at Land Rover Palm Beach. Well, we are out of the timeout. It is going to be 1st and goal coming up for Glade Central. 1 receiver left, 3 right. Taj Barnes, the quarterback. He drops back. He looks right. He steps up. He's scrambling left side, diving, and he's going to be just short of that pylon. Taj Barnes making a case. He wants the pay dirt, Coach.
Yeah, just a great job there as a quarterback, being in the pocket but understanding the timing of it. Anytime the rush comes up the field, you got to make sure that clock is in your head and you take off getting down the field.
We've seen multiple plays where you got 3 receivers right, 1 left. This has been a spread offense for Glades Central. Taj Barnes doing a great job being the conductor, as now there is 2:17 left to go in the first. 2nd down and goal coming up for Glades Central.
I'm thinking if you're Glade, you want to lean on your running game here. They're different, though. They may throw the ball down, but you want to lean on that running game.
Stinford gets the handoff, and he's bouncing. Is he in? I don't see a signal from the referees. They're going to down him at the 1, Coach. This is going to be 3rd and about a yard coming up, or excuse me, 3rd and goal at the 1-yard line coming up.
Well, you think that if you're going to be able to go and win another state championship, these two teams between them, they have 12 state championships, football state championships. You think if you're going to win another one, you got to be able to run the ball on the road, especially you think about this weather now. It's going to get a little cooler as the season goes on. You got to be able to put the ball on the ground.
1:34 left to go in the first quarter. Barnes under center for the first time tonight. He's trying to do a version of the touch push. He is stopped. It's going to be 4th and goal coming up for Glade Central. Coach, what do you do here if you're Omar Hugabaugh, head coach of Glade Central?
Well, you do the same. You spread them out. You want to get your quarterback in a run-pass option. But there, Pahokee did a great job of just submarining, not allowing him to go over the top of the line of scrimmage. He actually lost a half a yard on that play, but you want to submarine in there and try to make a play. But now you got a 4th down. You spread them out if you're Omar and try to get your quarterback on the run.
Coach, they have their jumbo package in. A couple of those superstar receivers off to the sideline. The big hogs in the game. Stinford in the backfield. This is a heavy goal line formation for both sides. 4th and goal. Central, they're going to drop back and pass. He's looking for Stinford. Touchdown, Glade Central. A trick play by Glades, and it pays off.
Yeah.
6 on the board.
Yeah, just what I'm thinking. Throwing the ball, but I like the formation by Omar Hugaboom. I'm thinking spread him out and throw it, but he says, no, we're going to get him in tight. We'll fake it like we're going to run the ball inside with our big guys, and we'll throw it to our running back out of the backfield. And that's what you need from the running back position. Not only to be able to run the football, but to be able to come out of the backfield one-on-one and catch the ball as well.
Armand Stinford on the year. That's his 11th reception, and that is his first receiving touchdown on the year. So a great job, a great play call by Glades as the kick is up, and it is good. It is 7-0 here at Pahokee. We're going to keep it right here because, folks, I got to tell you about our good friends at Culligan. You lather, rinse, moisturize, repeat, and repeat. At this point, you're practically training for the Shower Olympics. But here is the twist. It's not your shampoo's fault. It is your water's fault. Hard water leaves a mineral residue that clogs your pores and dries out your hair. Culligan water softeners remove damaging minerals, revitalize brittle hair, and dry skin. Upgrade your shower system today. Right now, they are offering 12 months, no interest, no payments. Visit Culligan.com for more information, or just say, hey, Culligan man.
Hey, Culligan man.
There you go. Our good buddy Damian Perez back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Coach, good play call there by Glade Central. Good drive there. They capitalized after getting that interception. What's going through your mind if you're Carlos Lamons, head coach of Pahokee right now?
Well, I can't panic. I understand the severity of this game and what it means to the community. Let me say something to you. You don't know this, but, you know, most teams set the season to win a state championship. You've got to win the state and the Muck Bowl. They're one and the same. And so it's a lot at stake here tonight, but you've got to stay the course if you're Pahokee, continue to run the football, and get your offense in rhythm.
It's a little Ohio State, Michigan-esque, Coach, if you ask me. As ball's on the ground, right off the kickoff. I believe Pahokee is on it, though, and they are. Another special teams blunder for Pahokee, but they are on it. Once again, they're going to have the ball on their own 10. I mean, Coach, is this going to be the third time in a row that Pahokee's going to bust out a 35-yard run to set themselves up? But we've seen this song and dance before. But the Blue Devils behind the sticks again here as they open up their drive.
Well, the Glade Central Raiders are flying around the football. You got to hold on to the ball if you're the Pahokee Blue Devils, because they're coming down, are the Raiders, and they're trying to come with bad intentions. And so Pahokee, just settle down, take a deep breath. Yes, you've been hit with a haymaker, but all of a sudden now offensively, you may get one of those 35-yard runs, but if not, you've got to be able to drive down the field and try to get your offense jump-started.
Xavier Mitchell, quarterback for Pahokee. 1,396 passing yards heading into the game, 12 touchdowns. They're going to try to tie this one up at 7. They're down 7-0 late in the first quarter. Handoff to the left side. He's going to gain about 5-6 yards on the play. And, Coach, I believe that is going to be the last play of the first quarter. 9-8, and I believe Coach Carlos Lamons might let this run all the way down, and he is. Folks, It is 7-0 after the first quarter. Glade Central on top. A trick play by Taj Barnes and Coach Omar Hagaba finds Armand Stinford in the back of the end zone. Let's take our first time out of high school game day. You are listening to the Game of the Week. It is your HSS Game of the Week presented by Smith Ball Bias and Prather on ESPN 106.3.
In sports and in life, how you move matters. So when injuries or pain get in the way, the orthopedic specialists at HSS Florida provide world-class care to get you moving again. From non-surgical and surgical care to personalized rehabilitation, HSS Florida offers the same quality and expertise you expect from HSS, the world's #1 in orthopedic care. With 2 convenient locations in West Palm Beach and Wellington. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida. Choose better, move better.
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. 2 of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
Arnold takes the snap from Mitchell. He's going to get the first down. Pahokee moving the chains right after getting the ball back, going down 7-0. They need a drive here, Coach.
They do, and I know Xavier Mitchell can throw the football down the field, so he's going to have to complete some passes in order for them to win this game. They can run the ball offensively, but they've got to make some chunk plays down the field against this Glade Central defense.
1st and 10. Mitchell hands it right back off. He is rustling. That is Samuel Arnold. Once again, gain of about 4 or 5 yards on the play. We're waiting for the spot. And it is a 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5 coming up for Pahokee.
Arnold, a small back, not a lot to hit. And he kind of gets hidden behind these big linemen. You got to find him if you're Glade Central.
Another handoff back to Arnold. A big tackle for a loss. Good job there by that Glade Central defense, getting in the backfield and blowing that one up. That is exactly what you want, Coach, if you're Central, reeling a bit after 2 big plays for Pahokee.
Yeah, you got to find a way to get in the backfield. So often you're going to have to fake a guy out or give a guy a move in order to get in the backfield. But they just kind of ran clean on that play. 2 or 3 defenders around the ball to tackle Arnold for a couple of yard loss.
That was Vinkevius Jones, by the way, on the big tackle for loss, big number 59 in the middle. We got Xavier Mitchell directing traffic. 2 receivers right, 2 left, man in motion. As he looks to the sideline now, he fakes. He's trying to go deep. He's got a man, and it's almost picked off. In the vicinity for Glade Central was Jalen Bowie. Incomplete. 4th and long coming up for the Blue Devils. Coach, this is a punt situation for Pahokee.
Yeah, anytime you hear the name Bowie in Pahokee or Belglade, you know it's a long line history of great players. Again, you just have to understand one thing. Those passes down the field, it's going to be tough to complete because there's so much makeup speed in this Glade Central secondary. So try to take the short yardage throws, make someone miss a tackle and try to get some yardage that way, because going for the bomb every time, it's going to be kind of hard to complete.
Once again, Pahokee going to have to punt this one away. 3rd punt of the night for Pahokee. It's 2 Upman ready to return this for Glade Central, and that one almost blocked, and it looks like that's going to be roughing the kicker for Pahokee.
Yeah, that'll be a first down if it is. It depends on what the official calls it, running into a roughing, but
right.
Nevertheless, it's roughing, so it's going to be a first down.
So that was Caleb Knight for Glade Central roughing the kicker. That's exactly, that is the injection that this Pahokee team needed, Coach.
That's what the doctor ordered. You need something in terms of a special play, and they got it through special teams. And you got to find a way to put together a drive if you're the Blue Devils. I almost want to shout next door to the coaching staff that's over there. Throw the ball short. They're not letting you throw it long. Throw it short. Take whatever the defense gives you and walk down the field.
Coach, to your credit, we saw Glade Central do that. That was Madrion Blackman. He took a drag route about 20 yards and got it past the 50 for Glade Central and put him in a good spot. So maybe shorten the field up for Xavier Mitchell here if you're Pahokee.
Well, because he's getting so much pressure and there's nothing down the field. They're not letting you run by him. They got a 2-deep safety, so they're keeping everything in front of them.
2 receivers right, 2 left after the big roughing the kicker penalty for Pahokee. That's Xavier Mitchell, the quarterback, and Samuel Arnold, the running back. Takes the snap, looks left. Coach, they're listening to you. That's a throw short, and I believe the ball is on the ground, but Pahokee is going to recover. That was one of the plethora of receivers that Pahokee has at their disposal. That was DeCorian Jones, the junior, who put the ball on the ground, but they end up getting on top of it, Coach.
Well, they did hear me, and again, that's what you've got to do. Throw the ball short, take what the defense gives you, matriculate down the field. Don't worry about throwing it long. That's good if you can get that, but you got to hold on to the football as well.
So after the fumble, it would have been a gain of about 6, but instead it's 1. It's 2nd and 9 coming up for Pahokee. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Arnold, the lone backfield. Mitchell takes the snap, hands it off. Here's Arnold off that right side. Pushes for about 3-4 yards. Going to be 3rd and 6 coming up for the Pahokee offense.
Well, against most teams, that hole is going to stay open, right? But against Glade Central, they're so fast. That hole's going to close very quickly. So if you're Arnold, you got to get what you can, press the hole, get in there, and try to get as many yards as you can and hold on to the football.
3 receivers right, 1 left. Arnold, the lone back in the backfield. Mitchell claps and takes the snap. He gives it off to Arnold on a draw play, and it pays off for Pahokee as they get the first down. But, Coach, you're alluding to me. You think it's going to be a hold here with some laundry on the field?
Yeah, they're going to call the hold on this. And, again, you want them to stay out of the way of the official. I'm kind of wishing because I'm next to an official. But you want them to stay out of the way, but somehow those calls get – what happens outside is that when you see a clean area where somebody just disappears out of the screen, you're going to get a hold there. Guys, try to keep your hands inside. I'm just coaching them up real quick. Keep your hands inside. If the guy moves outside, go with him, redirect, so they don't keep getting those holding calls.
My partner, folks, Jimmy Bell, legendary coach in Palm Beach County, coached the likes of Devin Hester, NFL Hall of Famer at his time at Suncoast. Now, Coach, you put it a nice way that was a pretty bad call. It's so many words, but I agree with you. You don't want referees in the way of a rivalry game like this. Three receivers right, 1 left. Arnold, the lone back in the backfield. Mitchell takes the snap. Coach, it looks like they want to go deep here, and that one almost caught the receiver in the vicinity. I believe, Coach, was Antoine Lawrence. They looked for him a couple of times on those deep balls, but incomplete. And I believe it's going to be another 4th down here, 4th punt of the night coming up for Pahokee.
Yeah, you got to help your quarterback out. A little high on that, but you got to bring it down. As a receiver, what you're taught is to look at the end of the football. We used to put numbers on it, 5, 7, 9, 12, whatever. And the guy's got to read the number as the ball comes in. You got to concentrate on the nose of the football to bring it in. You don't. You think you're going to take a big hit. You don't get those short alligator arms.
Now, Coach, the last time we had a punt, it was roughing the kicker on Glades. I think they're going to send everybody back on this one. But punt is out of the way, and it looks like they're going to wave a fair catch here at their own 30-yard line. Let's take a 30-second timeout. This is your HSS Game of the Week on ESPN 106.3. We're also live on our Top 63 stream on YouTube. Go check us out, ESPN 106.3.
Elevate your drive with the new 2026 Range Rover Velar P250S, where sleek design meets powerful performance. Lease it today for just $749 a month for 36 months, with $6,995 due at signing. This is your chance to command the road in signature Range Rover style. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and make sophistication yours. Land Rover, above and beyond.
You're listening to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, presented by HSS Florida. Choose better, move better, and supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather.
So Taj Barnes on 1st and 10 for Glade Central. Goes Stinford's way. That's his running back. He's going to gain about 3 on that. Going to be 2nd and 7 coming up for this offense, Coach?
Well, this offense in the early part of the season averaged 45 points per contest, but in the last 3, they've struggled offensively, have the Glade Central Raiders. So if you're Pahokee, you're right, you got them right where you want it. You want to keep them in a dogfight, in a phone booth, not allow them to score a lot of points, and stay within striking distance late in the third and fourth quarter.
Yep, and speaking of the time, 7:38 to go in that second quarter. Glade Central with the ball up 7-0 in the ball game. The lone scorer was Armand Stinford on a 4th and goal receiving touchdown at the 1-yard line. Barnes takes the snap. He's going to step up and scramble. He's going to pick up about 9 yards, Coach. I think he's a bit short. Going to be 3rd and 1 coming up for the Glade Central offense.
Yeah, from this angle, it's a little short, but you've got to be able to get 1 yard if you're Glade Central. Now, Pahokee did a great job on the goal line of stopping them by submarining under there. But they've got so many options here, do the Raiders. They can spread them out, try to throw the ball, look for that one-on-one matchup, especially down here against a fast defense.
They're calling it 3rd and about 2. Ball on the 39-yard line of Glade Central, 7:03 and counting left to go in the first half. 3 receivers left, 1 right. The lone back in the backfield is the always dangerous Armand Stinford, 676 rushing yards on the year. Barnes takes the snap. He's in trouble, Coach. He's scrambling. He's going deep, and that ball is out of bounds. We have 2 flags. Coach, you're calling holding, and they're already calling it.
Yeah.
And I believe, what do you think? You're going to accept this, Coach? Or do you go to 4th down and let Glade Central gamble a bit if they want to maybe get the first?
Well, knowing Glade Central, if I'm Pahokee, they're probably going to go for it here, knowing them, but they're probably going to decline this on 4th down. Oh, both ways.
So offsetting penalties, they're going to redo the Are they going to redo the down? Yeah, they are going to redo the down. Apologies.
Yep.
6:41, that clock is frozen. So they are going to redo 3rd down here coming up.
Yes, sir. Again, just a hold out of the backfield on the running back as he tried to catch the football, but you got a hold in the backfield against these linemen. A lot of pressure from Pahokee coming in from just the front 4. So they're doing a great job of putting pressure in the backfield, but you got to get to the quarterback to sack him so he doesn't have a chance to throw it down the field.
The Muck known for their barbecue, and I'll tell you what, Coach Rolds just got something in this press box that smells mighty tasty.
Yes, sir.
I believe he was chomping on a rib over there. I'm going to have to maybe look here at halftime. 6:41, as I mentioned, to go in the half. 3rd and 2, we're going to replay the down. Glade Central at their own 40. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Stinford, the lone back in the backfield. Barnes drops back. He's in trouble, Coach. He lobs it up for a screen, and it's Stinford. He's got the first down. He's past the 50, out of bounds, when I think is going to be the 55, Coach. Or excuse me, the 45, but is there a flag on the play? I don't think I see any laundry. That's 1st down for Glade Central.
Yeah, great call there on 3rd down, a screen pass, knowing that Pahokee is going to bring a lot of pressure. So they get him up the field. They drop the ball off to the running back in the flat. Just a great call there by the Raiders.
We have, I believe, the hydration timeout of the second quarter. And folks, I'll tell you what, speaking of hydration, Mas Plus by Messi is hydration plus more. A beverage like no other made to give everyone. Not just athletes, it's an extra boost of positivity and inspiration every single day. Created by Lionel Messi, Mas Plus delivers a balanced blend of electrolytes with natural flavors, no artificial sweeteners or colors, no caffeine, and only 1 gram of pure cane sugar. Vitamins, much, much more with no compromise on quality ingredients, and it has amazing taste. Floridians can purchase Mas Plus by Messi at Walmart or online at masbymessi.com. That's masbymessi.com. So, Coach, I called it at the 45. I thought Stinford rolled out of bounds there, but they got him down right at the 50. Ball is frozen at the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 for Glade Central coming up. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Stinford, that lone back again. Coach, they've been using him a lot tonight.
They have in different ways, getting him out of the backfield to catch the only touchdown of this game. And right there on the screen pass, knowing Pahokee was coming with a lot of pressure.
Barnes drops back. He's looking left. Coach, he's going deep. He has a man, and he overthrows him. I believe in the vicinity of that was Juder Joseph. It was the junior receiver. He's got 258 yards on the year and 2 touchdowns. Joseph was open, Coach.
He was, had a lot of room there. The quarterback just overthrew him. But again, you have to be able to put the ball on a receiver when he's that wide open. What you teach your quarterback is you're going to drop it almost like a free throw. You're going to drop it right in the bucket. But these quarterbacks are trying to throw it so far because they know these guys can run. That timing is off a little bit. Kind of surprising here late in the season.
6:21, the clock frozen in the second quarter. First half about to be at the end here. 7-0 Glade Central on top. They got the ball right at the 50. 2nd and 10. Barnes takes the snap, looks right, throws, and incomplete. He was looking for Madrion Blackman, who had that big catch in the first quarter. He wanted a little hold there, Coach, but he's not going to get the call.
Hey, listen, if he was an official, he would have called it because it was there. He has his hands up walking back to the huddle because then, where are you guys? You've been calling everything else, but they held me on that. They did. They impeded his progress as a receiver. He was trying to get to the football, but the defensive back grabbed him and held him to the ground.
So 3rd and 10 after 2 straight incompletions. Was surprised they haven't gone Stinford there on the early downs. But regardless, Coach Bell, 3rd and 10 coming up for Glade Central on the 50. And I believe we do have a timeout. And Glade Central calls their 2nd timeout of the half. 6:14 to go in the first half. 7-0 Glade Central on top. We'll talk to you in 30 seconds on ESPN 106.3.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Robinhood, the official jersey patch partner of the Miami Heat. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
You're listening to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, presented by HSS Florida. Choose better, move better, and supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather.
Well, we're coming to your city.
Coming up at halftime, our program director of ESPN 106.3, Brian Rowitz, sat down with Jimmy Robertson. We're going to be hearing that on the halftime show. But right now, the business at hand is a 3rd and 10 at the 50-yard line for Glade Central. They lead the game 7-0. Barnes drops back. He's looking deep. He scrambles right. He throws, and that one bobbled and dropped. Armand Stinford again, Coach. The intended target, drop pass. Going to be 4th and 10 coming up for Glade Central. What do you do here if you're head coach Omar Haguba?
Well, you're playing field position because you know Pahokee can strike. So, but I'm watching these players from Pahokee. They're calling hold against Pahokee, but they're a little frustrated because on the other side, Glade Central linemen, they're grabbing as well. So you want to try to keep it balanced if you can, but they got that one against Pahokee.
So apologies there, folks. Missed the laundry, but our great friend Jimmy Bell right there with it, holding. It is going to be 1st down for Glade Central, and it's been Coach, there's been a lot of flags. There's been a lot of flags in this first half. 7-0 Glade Central on top. 6:03 to go in the half. A little second life here for Glades on this drive after not getting the yard in 3 downs.
Yeah, and then they want to throw the ball down the field. So Pahokee is playing a 2 deep safety just as they are and trying to hold everything in front of them.
Coach Stinford gets the handoff. He gains about 1.5 yards. Going to be 2nd and about 9, 2nd and 8. Ball at Pahokee's 39, 38-ish yard line. So 2nd and 8 coming up for Glades. You saw Pahokee get a roughing the kicker. They got extra life, and now Glade Central getting extra life from a couple of flags. 5:33 and counting to go in the half. As I mentioned, 7-0 Glades on top. They're trying to make this a 2-score game on Pahokee's 40. 2nd and 8. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Barnes drops back, throws, and bobbled, but that ball is caught. Braden Brandt, first catch of the game, 1st down Glade Central.
Yeah, put it on him so hard that it's got to be a softer throw, but he caught it. It bobbled it, but he caught the football. But as a quarterback, you got to lay it right on your guy in the catch radius, especially a big tight end or wide receiver coming across the formation.
That is an HSS 1st down, folks. All 1st downs brought to you by our great partners at HSS Florida. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Stinford, the lone running back. Barnes doing a hard count. Now he looks to the sideline. He's changing things up. They're ready now. Barnes takes the snap, drops back, rolls left, and the ball's on the ground. Pressure was there by Pahokee. I believe Glades is on the ball. Coach Bell got the binocs out. And yes, it is going to be Glade Central ball. They do fall back on top of it, Coach.
Yeah, they got back on it. But the thing about it, Pahokee wasn't able to get any pressure early in the game. Now they're starting to get pressure with 2 and 3 guys coming through the middle of this offensive line. But you've got to be able to get the quarterback uncertain. Make him start shuffling his feet there if you're the Pahokee Blue Devils.
So after the fumble, going to be about 2nd and 16, we'll call it. Barnes in the shotgun, Stinford to his left, 2 receivers right, 2 left. Barnes barking his orders, takes the snap, drops back, looking deep. He's got a man, and it's caught! And that is a first down and more. The freshman, Algernon Crawford, with his 37th reception. Big first down for Central.
Yeah, climbing the ladder on that was the big guy. Again, being able to get in the catch radius of the receiver. He's got too much time back there as a quarterback. He's surveying the field, hitting his first, looking at his first, second, and even a third option.
Coach Central tried to go quick, but the referee's blowing their whistle. We have a timeout, Pahokee. We're going to take 30 seconds. This is your HSS Game of the Week presented by Smith Ball Bias and Prather on ESPN 106.3 and streaming live on the on the Top 63 YouTube page. Go check it out.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Anna Jar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
So we got a first and a coach, so you can still get a first down here. 1st and 10. It's not goal yet. There's a big catch there by Algernon Crawford, the sensational freshman for Central. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Barnes takes the snap. They're throwing, Coach. He's got all day. Finally rolls right. Is he going to have enough to get in? And he's down at about the 1.5-yard line. Let's call it, Coach. Taj Barnes putting on a display here in the first half.
Yeah, he's cool as the other side of the pillow. Again, in the position of quarterback, you got to be able to throw the ball, right? That's #1. But you got to also have vision and timing to know when you're in the pocket. Can he get outside? Yes, he can, but just made a defender miss there at the last moment and held on to the football and got it down near the goal line.
Taj Barnes, I've been very impressed, to Coach's point, been very impressed with his poise and his awareness when that pocket collapses. Pahokee's they're getting pressure on him, but he's doing a great job of stepping up and leaking out when he has to. So, Coach, we are actually second. They're calling it second and about a half yard. Like I said, we're not in a goal situation, but we're calling it second and about a half a yard at about the 2-yard. Am I seeing this right? About the 2-yard line. But Barnes takes the snap. He looks left, throws. Is that Stinford again? No, that's Algernon Crawford in for the touchdown. His 10th touchdown of the year, the sensational freshman once again.
Yeah, you get a guy go into the flat. So you get twins on both sides. You send motion, and now it floods that zone, and there's nobody going with that receiver. And that's all old new Omar Hugaboom. He understands the ebbs and flows of the game. He understands leverage. And so now he's sending 2 guys on a slant and bringing the guy to the flat. That's why he's wide open there for a touchdown.
Folks, as a Buckeye, watching Santonio Holmes as much as I did, I'll tell you what, this freshman is sensational. 10 touchdowns for Algernon Crawford. And obviously Santonio Holmes, a proud alumnus of Glade Central football. Kick is up, and that kick is good. It is 14-0 Glade Central. Our producer Damian Perez back at the City Place Studios. We appreciate his services. We're calling on him for a 30-second timeout right here on your HSS Game of the Week presented by Smith Ball Bias and Prather.
F45 Training in downtown West Palm and Wellington offers functional group fitness classes reimagined. F45 features high-intensity group-style workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven. They always have the right workout for you. The best part is, it takes just 45 minutes. If you're looking to train for something like High Rocks, F45 has you covered with tailored workouts. Get started today with a promo of your first 3 classes for just $30. Visit F45training.com to find a studio near you and officially join the F45 family. F45, team training, life-changing.
You're listening to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, presented by HSS Florida. Choose better, move better, and supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather.
Well, we're coming to your city.
It's your HSS Game of the Week, the Muck Bowl, baby. 14-0 Glade Central on top of Pahokee. We're at beautiful Anquan Bolden Field here in Pahokee. We're being treated very, very greatly in the press box. We appreciate everybody here at Pahokee for the hospitality. The Blue Devils are down, though, 14-0 right now. Coach, you're going to need to do something here with the ball with 2:28 to go. They get the kick return here as the Upmen gets across the 20-yard line. I believe they're going to call it, or excuse me, that's the 15-yard line, as Pahokee now going to be set up with about 1st and 10 from their own 15. But Coach Jimmy Bell, legendary Coach Jimmy Bell, our partner here, as always, on your HSS Game of the Week. What do you think, Carlos Lamons? What's the conversations he's having on that Pahokee sideline right now, down 2 scores at home?
Well, Coach Lamons understands that he's got to get some continuity here on the offensive side. You got to get down the field, put a positive drive together in order to get the confidence back in your offense, because right now this defense has stymied them here in the first half. The Blue Devils have a lot of talent, just like Glade Central, but they've got to put some positive plays together.
And some of those great players, Xavier Mitchell, Samuel Arnold, Kamari Foreman, Antoine Lawrence, just got to get the ball in the playmaker's hands. Is empty set here for Mitchell. He takes the snap. He looks left. He's going to go short right to Arnold, and he gains about 7 to 6 yards. They're going to be about 2nd and 4 coming up. Coach, you're shortening the field up and getting the ball to their playmaker.
As long as you're getting a profit, don't worry about it. You don't have to throw it down the field every time. You got to take those short yardage situations and try to go down the field.
158 and counting, still chance to put up points for the Pahokee Blue Devils. They will get the ball at halftime as well. Keep that in mind. They're going short again. Our guy Arnold, that's going to be enough for the first down. Samuel Arnold on the year has 200 coming into the game, 12 receptions, 277 through the air. Coach, they like to get him involved in the passing game.
Yeah, show me you can stop me. So we're going to keep running it until you stop us. And then at some point, somebody's going to peek in the backfield and look, and we'll get it down the field. But right now, just take what they give you.
Senior move by Arnold to go out of bounds. Clock frozen at 1:48. Mitchell in the empty gun again. Same formation with Arnold short. Mitchell fakes to Arnold, middle of the field. Throw! Caught! That's Kamari Foreman. Picks up the first down and more into Glade Central territory at their 45. Pahokee moving.
That's how you have to adjust. Again, they're backing up defensively. They're not giving you anything, so just take whatever they give you and go down the field.
Coach Lehman says, let's move quick. Mitchell in the shotgun again, that empty set. And, Coach, they're having Arnold line up 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage as a bit of a decoy. Mitchell trips, and he is taken down. That is going to be a loss of 5 on the sack. Give credit there to that Glade Central defensive line getting that push.
Yeah, they got there. But, again, as a quarterback, you got to understand the situation. The clock is running. It may be down to 1 timeout or no timeouts, but you got to throw the ball away there. You can't take that sack.
To Coach's point, that clock's ticking, 1:08 and counting, going to be 2nd and 15 at the 50-yard line for the Blue Devils. 3 receivers right, 1 tight end on the left. Mitchell takes the snap, looking deep, throws, and that one off the face mask of Antoine Lawrence. No gain. Going to be 3rd and 15, Coach, coming up at the 50 for Pahokee.
Well, that's how you go to play ball on Saturday. You got to make those tough catches. Only 1 foot is needed in high school. You got to help your quarterback out. Make those tough catches on the sideline to keep this offense on the field.
3 receivers right, 1 left. Arnold in the backfield, Mitchell directing traffic. Quarterback Xavier Mitchell, 12 touchdowns on the year. They could use one on 3rd and long, and I believe referee stopping the play, flag on the play. Waiting for the call here, Coach. And, yep, Coach Bell alluded to it to me. False start, and it's going to be 3rd and 20 coming up for Pahokee.
Yeah, so many mistakes by the Blue Devils here in the first half. Self-inflicted. Think about it. Go back to the actually interception, the fumbles on the special teams, and just filling the ball at the 10-yard line. Just those are critical errors that you don't make at this point in the season. Very good football team, but they're hurting themselves right now.
3rd and 20. Ball on the 45-yard line for Pahokee. They're down 14-0. 49.5 seconds left to go in the first half. Certainly would like to see some points here for Pahokee as they will get the ball at halftime. Mitchell takes the snap, play action, rolls right, throws deep. Does he have a man? No, it's intercepted. Glade Central with the big interception. And coach, could this be a house call? On the interception is Daryl Goring. He takes it all the way down to the 20-yard line of Pahokee. But we have laundry on the field. Another flag in the first half. Coach, what are you thinking here?
Well, looks like where the officials are, it's going to be some type of defensive holding or pass interference.
Another flag. We will get exact penalties during the halftime report when Brian Rowett sits down with Jimmy Roberts. We'll get you that information going into the second half, but 26 seconds left to go. Coach Bell, and it is pass interference against the Glade Central Raiders. Wipe that interception off of the board. Daryl Goring, I'll tell you what, the junior made a real go at a pick six, but it's going to come back, and Coach, this is the break the Pahokee offense needs. They could still get points before the half.
Well, you got to take advantage of it, though. If you're Pahokee, understand one thing. They're not going to give you anything down the field. They know you have speed. You got to make somebody miss a tackle by formation, lining guys up, bringing motion just like Glade Central has done, and getting yourself some leverage. They got to find a way to get it done.
Coach Omar Hugaba going to kind of get his guys back in order after the big play. Coach, we'll keep it here. He calls a timeout. Final timeout of the half for Glade Central. 26.9 seconds to go in the half. Coach, we've had a wild first half. This is truly a rivalry game at its finest. Now, Glade Central striking first with 14 points on the board, but you mentioned the self-inflicted wounds Pahokee has inflicted on themselves. This is still a really good football team that's in the game, down 14-0 with a chance to get points at halftime.
Yeah, after all that has happened to them, they're still right here. So you got to be proud of that fact, but you got to try to finish this drive with some points because you get a twofer, right? You get one here, and you come out second half and try to get another drive and score points. But you can't give it to Glade Central and give them a chance to go back down. You got to be patient here, if you're Coach Carlos Lemons, and try to find a way to get your offense in the end zone.
As we mentioned, 26.9 seconds to go in that half. We appreciate all the hospitality from our good friends here at Pahokee. This has been a heck of a first half. Can the Blue Devils get in and get 7 and make this interesting as they will be getting the ball at the start of the half? Mitchell takes the snap, looking deep, rolls right, Coach. He's got to get rid of it, and he does. He's going deep. He's got a man, but it's intercepted. On the interception for Glade Central, defensive backman Cyril Broyce takes it to the 30. Coach, he had a man. There just wasn't enough mustard on that football. He had Antoine Lawrence wide open in the end zone.
Yeah.
Oh, he just didn't put enough. He didn't put enough speed on it.
He didn't, and the thing about it is, on the Glade Central side, their quarterback's not getting any pressure. But on the Pahokee side, there's a lot of pressure.
And is there another flag, Coach? What are they inciting here?
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure it out. I don't think I saw a flag. The crowd's reacting.
There's a player down on the field.
Or sorry, there's a man down. Man down on the field. We hope that the young man is okay. I believe that actually is Antoine Lawrence in the back of the end zone. We hope the young man is okay. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. This is your HSS Game of the Week presented by Smith Ball, Bias, and Prather on ESPN 106.3.
The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
You're listening to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, presented by HSS Florida. Choose better, move better, and supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather.
Well, we're coming to your city.
Coach Jimmy Bell giving me the thumbs up, and Antoine Lawrence is okay, the young man who is down in the back of the end zone. But I mentioned my partner, Jimmy Bell. This is the HSS Game of the Week presented by Smith Ball, Bias, and Prather on ESPN 106.3. Coach Pahokee kind of got second life there after an interception was called back for pass interference. But the very next play, Xavier Mitchell throws another interception. I'm assuming Central going to need the ball with 8.5 seconds left to go in the first half.
Well, you would think so, but again, they're different. They're different now. I'll be honest with you. You just never know what they're going to do.
I mean, listen, boys, I'm gonna make a wild guess he's going to take a knee here, and he does.
Yeah, okay.
And he does. But, hey, from what we saw, Coach Bell might have been onto something. Folks, halftime here on our Game of the Week, 14-0, Glade Central on top of Pahokee. Jimmy Roberts is going to join ESPN 106.3. My boss and program director, Brian Rhodes. And I'll tell you what, I think Brian Rhodes knows high school ball better than anybody in the area. I will bet that with anybody who wants to go toe-to-toe with my boss, Brian Rhodes, on high school football. But he sat down with Jimmy Roberts. You'll be listening to that interview when we come back on your HSS Game of the Week, Glade Central and Pahokee on ESPN 106.3.
The adrenaline soars at the 36th Annual Stewart Air Show, November 7th, 8th, and 9th at Witham Field in Stewart. Celebrate aviation's best and feel the power and precision of military jets featuring the F-35 Lightning. On Friday, see the Twilight Air Show with fireworks and breathtaking drone display and Dirty Flight Suit Party by TD Bank. Witness aviation history and the legendary B-29 Super Fortress. Kids will love the adventure of a scavenger hunt sponsored by Dave & Buster's. Tickets and upgrade information available now at StewartAirshow.com.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto, all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Robinhood, the official jersey patch partner of the Miami Heat. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
Man, I got to tell you about a special football team right here in Palm Beach County. Off I-95 and the Turnpike lays the flagship campus of Kaiser University. The Kaiser Seahawks are all about championships, both on the field and in the classroom. They've got 26 national championships, and that number only grows as we get deeper and deeper into that illustrious school's history. The men's tennis team won their first ever NAI title last spring, and there was a three-peat from the men's lacrosse. They're going for 4 this year. And I haven't even gotten to the Kaiser football team. Those special Kaiser Seahawks, those undefeated Kaiser Seahawks, those national champion Kaiser Seahawks from a couple of years ago, well, they've got their next home game on November 8th. That Saturday at 6 o'clock. It's senior night. It's a special senior night because the Kaiser Seahawks take on Southeastern. That's their best home game of the year to finish off that home Sun Conference schedule. You can get the latest on the championship Kaiser Seahawk athletic programs at KUSeahawks.com. KUSeahawks.com. Defend the beach.
Miami Dolphins football is back at Hard Rock Stadium. The party starts the second you hit the lot and doesn't stop till the final whistle. There's nothing like experiencing Dolphins football live. Single game tickets are on sale now with options for every budget, from the 300 level to our luxury offerings. Turn Sundays into something unforgettable. Secure your seats today. Visit MiamiDolphins.com/tickets and get ready for game day.
During football season, keep your home in the win column with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the field, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSisyes.com today, kick off your game day comfort, and don't sweat the small stuff.
Hey, what's up? It's CCAT here. I got to tell you, Racetrack is the #1 gas station when it comes to mind for football season. We've got high school playoffs right around the corner, and I know every single football Friday night needs to start at Racetrack. They've got whatever gets you going. That's their style of convenience. They're your go-to for all your game day essentials, ice-cold drinks, salty snacks, sweet treats, and that, oh, so good, freshly made in-house pizza. Racetrack proudly operates under that simple mission: making people's lives simpler, more enjoyable, serving as that one-stop shop for quality and convenience on the go. At Racetrack, you're not just a customer, you're part of the team. 7.5 million customers strong every single week. Racetrack supports and fuels the passion and spirit of our young athletes across Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. Racetrack, they're dedicated to giving back to the communities that we serve, and they're helping our future stars shine. Make sure you start your football days with Racetrack. Maybe it's on Saturdays on your way down to our college tailgate. Maybe it's on Sundays when you're going to watch the game or going to the game. But definitely on those Friday nights, make sure you incorporate Racetrack into your routine because they're making our lives better by supporting our local high school football teams. Together, we're making a difference with Racetrack. And by the way, pro tip, they didn't tell me to tell you this. Try that frozen Hawaiian punch at Racetrack. Yeah, you'll thank me later.
During football season, keep your home in the win column with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the field, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSisyes.com today, kick off your game day comfort, and don't sweat the small stuff.
You're listening to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, presented by HSS Florida. Choose better, move better, and supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather.
Where we're coming to your city.
Right now, when you two take the field, it's going to be a close game. There's going to be drama. There's going to be excitement. How does that set the tone for your season to play such a tight game and come out on the right end of it going back to week one?
Oh, it's just a great – I have so much respect for Coach Dan and that program, and it's a great way to start off week one. We got them this year. They beat us last year. 2 years ago, we went into double overtime with us. That was our other 9-1 season. So playing a very well-coached team week one kind of sets you up for those first four or five games in the beginning of your regular season, I believe, because we faced adversity. We were able to find wins. We were able to find a way to win. We were able to figure out early what worked for us, what didn't work for us, who are our playmakers. So having that win early on in the season really set the tone for that month of September, to be honest.
All eyes now on the postseason. The bracket doesn't come out till Thursday. You guys played on Thursday. You'll play 2 weeks from that final game. What is prep like through the weekend when you don't actually know who you're playing? You could probably sort of guesstimate a little bit, but what's prep going to be like now?
Well, we're going to start off with today. We're actually going to have our annual Halloween practice. So we'll be out in the field in our costumes, having a little fun. And then we're going to get back to work. The coaches will get back to work this weekend, and then Monday is going to be a film day. We'll do our lift, and then we're just going to work on the details. We're going to do takeaway circuit. We're going to get back to form tackling, alignment, pursuit to the football. The little things that's going to win you big football games is going to be our main focus next week. And as soon as we find out who our opponent is, we're going to start game planning, and then we're going to get into that prep for the first round of playoffs.
What are the pluses and negatives to that? 'Cause that's a little bit different this year. Usually weather pushes things back, so you'll find out your opponent a couple days after the regular season. Having this gap between the end of the regular season and when you know who you're playing, what are the pluses and negatives there?
I guess it depends on where you are in your season. We're pretty healthy right now. Last year, we had a lot of injuries, but we're pretty healthy, and we're going to get two of our starters back. We have, a 6'4", 300-pound lineman that's going to that should be cleared to play for the first week of the playoffs. And we're hoping to get back our middle linebacker, but also just to get the guys' bodies back. We're through the end of the season. We always stress strength and conditioning throughout the season, and we're just trying to get healthy. We're going to make sure that we're well conditioned and that we're going to be able to be at our top of our game. Our goal right now is to start playing our best football. It wasn't supposed to be against King's Academy or Melbourne Central Catholic or Calvary Christian. It was to get better each week, to get ready for the playoffs. We want to start playing our best football November 14th.
This coming from a coach whose offense averaged almost 35 points a game, putting up, over 30 multiple times, over 50 multiple times. So pretty exciting to hear that. Last couple of things here, Jimmy Robertson, the St. Andrews football head coach, a 9-1 regular season, a district title, the postseason coming up now, as last night they ended the regular season 35-3 win at Benjamin. You look at building a program. You are one of the longest tenured, if not the longest tenured at this point, coach in the area. How much is 9-1, the fruits of that labor and the fruits of building a foundation and keeping everything the same and knowing what to expect from St. Andrews football?
It's just part of the process. This is my 10th year. When you come to St. Andrews, you could be a great football player, but, St. Andrews has so much more to offer than just football. And being here for 10 years, we built the culture. The kids understand what the expectation is. The parents do. We got support from the administration. And obviously what we're doing is working, because if you look back of St. Andrews football 20 years ago or 10 years ago when I took over the program, we got buy-in. They understand that's a process. We're doing things the right way. We're winning with our guys. We're producing our guys that are in the middle school. And right now I've been here long enough that the kids that I've met in lower school, we're winning with those guys are the base and foundation of this team. And, that's where our success comes from. And you can see if you do things the right way, it's not a snap of a finger, it's a process. And that's where we are right now. Year 10, 9-1, third year in a row, district champs. We're going to get a home playoff game, and we're looking to make a deep playoff run.
Before we let you go, when it comes to the postseason, those guys that have not experienced it yet, and most of your guys have because you're in the postseason every year now, is it different? How different is it, and how much do you have to stress to the guys like, hey, we still are playing football, just got to play 4 quarters when it comes to postseason football?
We've been stressing playoff football for the last 3 weeks. Ever since we actually started playing, we were getting prepared for Calvary. I was like, this is a playoff team. They're district champs. We got to treat it as a playoff game. Same thing with Gulliver and Benjamin, that we were fighting for a better playoff seed. You don't know what's going to happen, but we've been treating every game for the last 3 weeks as it's a playoff game. That has been our mentality in practice as well. So we're not just all of a sudden turn on the switch and playoff. We've been prepping for this for the last 3 weeks, and I think we learned and we grew as a team, and we know what our strengths, we know what we need to improve on. So we're just excited to get these 2 weeks of prep, for our home playoff game.
And that's where it'll be in a couple weeks. Postseason play will open up in Boca Raton at St. Andrews. Coach, a 9-1 season district title, but not done yet. Appreciate the time and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, sir.
St. Andrews is postseason bound. We also know a couple other teams that are postseason bound. Glade Central, Pahokee, they'll be playing in the postseason. But before they get to that, they want to take home that Muck Bowl trophy. Second half action coming up. Mike Rizzo on the call. This is ESPN West Palm High School Game Day.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
The guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, president of Leaf Filter, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
Hey everybody, it's Cade Chumsland. Every week, Land Rover Palm Beach supports local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community by naming a Player of the Week. This year, $35,000 will be awarded to student athletes and their schools. Tune in to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day every Friday night as I unveil this week's featured athlete. If you have a great performance that I need to know about, DM us at ESPN West Palm. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
Tina, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hey, Colin, what's up?
How's the gym?
It's been great. I'm seeing results. My sports-certified Vitacost products have made a world of difference.
Oh, same. Isn't it great? Vitacost is basically the reason I've been able to keep up with Ironman training. Everything you need is in one place for my BCAAs, protein, and electrolytes. Best part, it's all clean and free of banned substances.
Go re-up on your supplements today. Visit Vitacost.com and use code ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game with Vitacost.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
You're listening to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, presented by HSS Florida. Choose better, move better, and supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather.
Where we're coming to your city.
Welcome on back to our HSS Game of the Week, presented by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather on ESPN 106.3. Folks, we are also streaming live on our YouTube page. Search Top 63. That is at Top 63 on the YouTube page. We are at the Muck Bowl. I'll tell you what, too. Max Preps, you know, the high school site called it the best rivalry in the state of Florida. And after being a part of it, seeing how it's a part of the community here, Coach Bell, you know, Coach Roach told us 23-10 overall. This is the 34th meeting, 23-10, 23 in favor of Glade Central, 10 to Pahokee, but it's the 34th meeting. And listen, if anyone wants to dispute that, you could argue with the great Coach Roach, because I'm not brave enough to do that. But, Coach Bell, you talk about the community. By the way, Jimmy Bell, my partner, is always here on High School Game Day. You talk about the community aspect of it, and that's exactly what we're seeing here tonight with both sides.
Yeah, I mean, this is a heated rivalry, but a lot of respect between these two communities. Only 9 miles apart from Pahokee over to Belglade, but there's a lot of respect. I'm looking down in the stands, and I see some of the old heads, some guys that have played here maybe 20, 30 years ago. You got one with a Pahokee jersey on and one with a Glade Central. They're sitting right next to each other. You know, we talk about the Hatfields and the McCoys, one of the most heated rivalries in American history, and these two teams are. They don't love each other, but they love each other outside of this game, and that's what I love about this small town football. A lot of respect.
So the 34th Muck Bowl, like we said, Glade Central 23 wins Pahokee 10. Glade Central won the most recent one in overtime, but before that, Pahokee won the two in a row. So this has been a back and forth rivalry. It's 14-0 in favor of Glade Central, but Pahokee will be getting the ball back. Before we go into what we want to be seeing, and specifically with legendary coach Jimmy Bell, what he wants to see from the Pahokee Blue Devils coming up in the second half, I want to tell you, folks, I mentioned this is the HSS Game of the Week presented by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather on ESPN 106.3. You can find us on our YouTube page at Top 63. But you hear that name all the time, Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather. They are Florida Injury Lawyers, proud to be proud to be the presenting sponsor of High School Game Day on ESPN 106.3. If you've been in a car accident, call now for a consultation. The sooner you call, the sooner the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather can start putting their extensive experiences and resources to work for you. You don't pay anything unless they make a recovery for you. Call right now at 500-HELP, 500-HELP with Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather. Help is just a local phone call away. Offices in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Coach Pahokee going to be getting the ball here coming out of the half. They got a lot of loud and proud screaming fans here. What do you think head coach Carlos Lamons is telling his team at halftime to turn things around in front of a lot of fans in a heated rivalry such as the Muck Bowl?
Well, I tell you, there's one clear path to victory for Pahokee. They've got to take what the defense gives them because they forced a lot in the first half, throwing the ball down the field. Just dink and dunk. Take whatever they give you. Coaches are next door screaming and yelling, but you're throwing the ball down the field. Glades has 2 safeties back deep. They're not letting you go deep, so take the short dump offs and just move the ball down the field and try to get in the red zone.
We got the Pahokee band on the field, so I'll tell you what, Coach, this game is just as important to them as it is to the teams on the sideline. We saw the Glade Central band. We're seeing the Pahokee band. These kids waited all week to get their chance on the field. I'm telling you what, I'm loving the vibe of the rivalry from my first Muck Bowl on the call here at beautiful Pahokee.
Well, you got to. Again, two of the most storied programs in all of South Florida, probably in the state of Florida, if you will. Some great athletes. You know, you think about Glade Central, some NFL players, more than anybody in Palm Beach County, and Pahokee and Suncoast, they're right there together in terms of the number that they put in. But 12 state championships between these two institutions on the football field. 6 for Pahokee, 6 for Glade Central, and it's just a way of life that has become here in the Glades. Just a lot of competitive young men that have a desire to go on to the next level and even to the NFL.
Now, Coach, I got a couple of notes about Glade Central and both Pahokee. This is from Brian Rowitz. Like I said, I'll take his high school football knowledge. I put it up against anybody in the county. Glade Central, they're 7-2, obviously, 8-1 on the year. They're 8th in our top 63 poll. They got a bunch of top 63 athletes on their roster. Javari Lucas, Armand Stinford, Saverson Paul. And Armand Stinford obviously has made an impact in this game. He has a receiving touchdown, and they've used him a lot. And under Coach Omar Hugaba, Glade Central has been to the playoffs in both years under Omar Hugaba. So this is a program who has really been able to turn things around as of late. And as far as Pahokee, I mean, Carlos Lamons has really turned the program around as well. Pahokee won 4 of their last 5 this season, and they were in the playoffs both years, similar to Omar Hugabuk for Glade Central. Pahokee has been in the playoffs for both years under head coach Carlos Lamons, and they lost in the regional semis last year in the postseason. These teams are both very good. They have top 63 athletes all over the field. Coach, you think we're going to be seeing a competitive second half here as we're almost ready to gear up?
Yeah, I think as long as Pahokee can come out and try to get some points here to start the second half, they've got to be able to close the gap, because the more confidence you give Glade Central, the more they're going to put pressure on you. So if you're Coach Carlos Lamons, you got to come out here in the second half, throw the football short, run the ball control offense, and try to keep Glade Central on the sideline.
70 NFL players have come out of this rivalry. Obviously, on the Pahokee side, you got the great Anquan Bolden, who I grew up watching play for. I remember him more for the Cardinals, but a lot of people remember him for the Ratbirds, as I call it, being from Cleveland, Ohio. But regardless, Anquan Bolden, one of the better receivers I've seen, and certainly Ricky Jackson. Hall of Famer Ricky Jackson coming from the Pahokee side.
Yes,
and Glade Central. Now, Coach, I'm a big Santonio Holmes guy. Being a Buckeye, absolutely loved him and Ted Ginn at The Ohio State University. But he went to the wayside by playing for the Squealers. So, it's kind of a lose-lose for me. I love Anquan Bolden. I love Santonio Holmes. Well, my God, can we get them on a professional team that's not a rival of mine? Coach, 70 NFL players have come out of this, and an extensive list like that. Truly football heaven out here in the Muck. I can't wait for the second half.
Yeah, just a different mindset with a lot of these young men that come out of this community. I remember, doing a lot of business with Janoris Jenkins, great guy, would give back to the community. Also, Anquan Bolden, as you mentioned, Jesse Hester, the list goes on and on. Fred Taylor, I love to see him on the pivot. Just a lot of guys that have come out of this area, and they were great players as well. So they're hungry. They have a desire to get to the next level, and a lot of them have done it.
And Coach, the docu-series Fourth and Forever, Muck City, that is a must-watch if you are from South Florida. Once again, the docu-series Fourth and Forever, Muck City. And we mentioned all the great players, Coach Jimmy Bell rattled off a bunch. Anquan Bolden, Janoris Jenkins, Ricky Jackson, Hall of Famer in the NFL. That's the Pahokee side. Santonio Holmes, Fred Taylor, and both Travis and Kelvin Benjamin coming out of Glade Central. And I think Coach Fred Taylor, fringe Hall of Famer. When you think of the early Jacksonville Jaguars and those electric green jerseys, you think of Fred Taylor.
Yeah, just one of the greatest running backs. I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves.
No, he doesn't. He
doesn't.
He really doesn't. If it were up to me, I'd put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir.
Kick is off and we're underway in the second half. Pahokee with the return as they will get to the 20-yard line. Got caught there. But Pahokee will be getting the ball on their own 20-yard line to start after the kickoff. 14-0 is the score. Pahokee needs to get going on offense here to get back into the game, make it a one-score game. Pahokee did have a chance to score before halftime. There was an interception, then it got called for pass interference, and then on the next play, another interception. So Pahokee not able to get some points before the half. But, Coach, I'm confident that they could get back into this game here. 1st and 10, 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Arnold, the lone back in the backfield. Xavier Mitchell, quarterback, takes the snap on a read option. He hands it off to Arnold. That's going to be a gain of about 3, 2nd and 7 coming up for the Blue Devils.
And they've got to slow the game down. Again, they're trying to play at the same pace as as Glade Central, and that's why they're down by 14. Glades, when they had success early in the season, they were winning by 40-plus points. The last 3 weeks, they've only scored an average of 16 points a game. That's the kind of game you want to keep them in, because there you're making them earn everything down the field. If you're Pahokee, you try to get in the track meet, you're going to be in trouble.
Athletes all over the field for Pahokee, and one of them being Samuel Arnold, star running back. Mitchell takes the snap. It's a direct quarterback run. He'll float to the left side for about 1.5 yards. Coach, I think it's going to be about 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4.5 coming up here for Pahokee.
Well, just a couple of first downs will get their confidence. So, again, they've got to try to convert here on this 3rd down. Only about 5 or 6 yards, as you mentioned.
Yep.
Got to get the ball down the field quick. A little curl route in there. Just find the guy across the middle and try to get a first down.
What worked before halftime was Arnold kind of lining up 2 yards in the backfield and then taking it 6, but that's not the formation. Your bunch formations, 2 receivers right, 2 left. Arnold in the backfield. Mitchell takes the snap. He's actually going to throw to Arnold. Does he have enough for that first down? And he does, but Coach, a flag. I think a late flag.
Let's wait for it.
Late flag on the play. There's enough for the first down, but I don't, maybe a late hit, maybe face mask. Okay, so a face mask against Glade Central. Pahokee, first down and more, Coach.
Again, every time that they've thrown the ball short, they've had success. Now, that doesn't give you what you want in terms of points, but what it does is it's going to tire this Glade Central defense out, keep your offense on the field, and you're going to start to get some confidence offensively, and that's what you got to do in the second half.
1st and 10, ball on Pahokee's own 37-yard line, inching closer to midfield. Mitchell, direct snap, takes it, will gain about 1 yard. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Pahokee Blue Devils.
One thing that neutralizes speed is the screens and then of a draw. If you're Pahokee, Glades is going to blitz at some point. You just got to get the timing just right with that. Probably throw into that blitz, try to hit some type of screen, and then you can get a guy down the field.
And I believe that was Zachary Mitchell, by the way, brother of Xavier Mitchell, on the carry on that direct snap. Xavier now, though, back in the game. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Arnold, the lone back. Mitchell claps, gets the snap, goes short. Little bubble screen on that right side. That is to Kamari Foreman. Going to be gain of about 4 on the play. Good yardage there for Pahokee, Coach.
Yeah, but that's not what I want because they have too much speed sideline to sideline. So what I want is the back out of the backfield one-on-one, or if you get a guy curling and somebody going to the flat, now you're going to get a guy wide open. You can't go sideline to sideline. Too much speed on the Glade Central side.
3rd and 5 coming up for Pahokee. 3 receivers right, 1 left. An early movement. Is this a false start or encroachment? I believe it's going to be encroachment on Glade Central, and it is. We'll have to keep an eye if that is enough for a first down. And it is. That is a first down after the penalty. All first downs here on your HSS Game of the Week, presented by HSS Florida.
I'll be honest with you, I cheated. I saw the official move down, so I knew it was a call against the Glade Central.
Coach, you're my eagle eye. You're my eagle eye over here. I know you're not an anime nerd. I certainly know that, but you got your Sharingan on over there for these calls. As now we have whistles. Referees run into the line of scrimmage. I think a young man going to have to come off for Pahokee.
Yeah, equipment violation. Usually when they come off and the officials are saying, listen, either you pull your knee pads down, you got to do something to adjust. So you got to get another guy in the game.
So 1st and 10. Pahokee in a jumbo formation. A jumbo shotgun formation with Zachary Mitchell in the game, but another encroachment call. It's going to be 1st and 5, ball across midfield now and into Glade Central territory for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, good job by the Blue Devils of shifting the formation. So they bring guys from the right going to the left, and as they do that, the Glade Central players aren't paying attention to the ball, but yet they move when the players move. Got a cheap 5 yards.
Another bunch formation in the shotgun. This is Zachary Mitchell, who hands it off to Arnold. Arnold bounces it. Is going to gain about 3 yards. Looking like 2nd and 2 coming up after the penalties. But Arnold, coach, who really is active on this offense for Pahokee, I believe after tonight he will certainly have over 1,000 yards on the year. He has 8 touchdowns on the year as well, 277 through the air, and he takes the snap and gets another 5 yards. That is a first down, and ball is in Glade Central territory on the 39-yard line. That's an HSS first down for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, that's the patience that I'm talking about. You got to be able to milk this clock, get points on the other side of it if you're Pahokee, but you got to take your time and slow this game down.
Takes the snap, hands it off, and that is Arnold once again, but we do have flags on the play. Xavier Mitchell with the handoff there, but it's going to be face mask on Pahokee, Coach, at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the officials, as that run happened there, right where their official was a guy grabbing from Pahokee on the face mask, so they called it.
So Pahokee getting penalized this time around. There were 2 encroachment calls on that Glade Central defense, but now Pahokee, the penalized team. Xavier Mitchell, quarterback on the year, 12 passing touchdowns with his yards today too, Coach. It's 1,400 yards through the air for him. It's going to be first and about 12. 7:19 and ticking in the third quarter. Your HSS game of the week, the Muck Bowl, Pahokee and Glade Central. Mitchell hands it off to Arnold. Arnold fights for about 2 yards on the play. Be third and about 8 coming up for Pahokee.
Yeah, it's okay to take the entire quarter, but you got to get paid at the other end of this. You got to get your invoice paid. So if you're Pahokee, you got to find a way to get a first down and keep this drive going.
Mitchell hands it off to Arnold. Arnold bounces off a couple of tackles. And he is short of the first down. And I apologize, it's 3rd and 3. All the penalties got my head in a tizzy. That was 2nd down, but 3rd and 3 coming up for Pahokee now, 3rd and manageable.
I tell you what, you ask yourself the question, if they don't get it here on 3rd, do they go for it on 4th down? Because they've got to score here on this drive.
Takes the snap, hands it off, and Coach, I don't think he got there. A couple of Glade Central defenders blew that thing up. It's going to be 4th down for Pahokee coming up. Coach, I think they got to go.
Yeah, you got to go here. Again, you knew Glade Central was going to sell out on that 3rd down. That's where you put it in there and you get a little pop pass, somebody coming across the middle. You can't keep trying to run it in that middle. This defense is very stout.
So Mitchell claps. Maybe a timeout here, maybe trying to force some offsides here, Coach. Bunch formation to the left. You got about 3 receivers on the left. The right side is wide open. No receivers there. Mitchell gets the handoff. Coach, I don't know.
Nah.
He did not get it. He is short of the line to gain. It was a direct snap to Mitchell. And Glade Central takes over.
Yeah, you got everything you wanted on that drive except points. You held the clock, kept their offense on the sideline, but again, you got to get a little more creativity there on the offensive side in order to beat this defense because they've got a lot of talented players. They're going to penetrate in the backfield. What do you do to give them a chance to get outside against this defense?
Glade Central going to take over on their own 30-yard line. Coach, are you surprised by the play call there?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, again, creativity offensively will help. That's the difference in this game. Omar Hogaboom on the other side has been creative offensively, been able to get his guys on the outside on those quick out patterns. That's been the difference in this game. You remember the touchdown in the first quarter, and then in the second quarter, a touchdown. Both guys going outside, not going across the middle of the defense.
So 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line. Coach Taj Barnes, quarterback for Central, this is the first time they've had the ball since like 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter. So Barnes takes the snap, and I believe we have a hold in the backfield. Flag is down. I think Barnes realized that, goes out of bounds. Going to be 1st and about 20 for Glade Central.
That wasn't a hold. That was a takedown. That was a WWE. Hey, listen,
it's a rivalry game, right,
yes,
Coach?
Sir. Sometimes you got to save your quarterback, right? Because if you don't, he's going to get blown up at the point of his attack. So you sometimes as an offensive lineman, you know you're beat. You grab the guy just so your quarterback can live to see another day.
About a Hulk Hogan slam there by the Glade Central offensive lineman. But Pahokee getting kind of what they need there. A penalty on Glade Central backs them up. 1st and 20 coming up for Glade Central on their own 20-yard line. I mentioned players to watch if you want to say impact players. Algernon Crawford, that freshman sensation for Glade Central, had a touchdown in the first half coming into the game. 646 yards and 9 touchdowns. Barnes takes the snap, looks left, throws, hits the ground. He was looking for said Algernon Crawford. Going to be 2nd and 20 coming up.
Yeah, again, just getting pressure in the backfield are the Blue Devils. And sometimes you don't get to the quarterback, but that late hit on him gets in his head, gives him happy feet, and that's what you want as a defense, get him indecisive in that pocket.
Carlos Lamons, head coach of Pahokee, definitely wants the ball back here in a bad way. Pahokee getting stalled on their first drive in Glade Central territory on the Glades 30. Central's taken over, but it's 2nd and 20 here after a holding call and an incomplete pass. It's 5:02, clock frozen, 5:02 to go in the third quarter. Glades on top 14-0. Barnes takes the snap, looks right, rolls right, directing traffic, throws, and dropped. He was looking to the sideline to Juder Joseph, the junior receiver, 3rd and a mile coming up for Glade Central, Coach
Yeah,
Bell.
he put it on him. He should have made that catch. But again, if you're going to make a right-handed quarterback, you're going to give him a free release to the right side. He's going to make most of those throws, at least have an opportunity to. If I'm Pahokee, if I'm bringing pressure in the backfield, it's going to come from his right side, make him go left, more difficult throw for a right-handed quarterback.
So 3rd and 20, Omar Huggerbook taking his time with this play call. He's up 2 scores. In a rivalry game, Coach wants to dictate the pace of the game after Pahokee took a lot of the quarter on their first drive, but they're in trouble here, deep in their own territory, 3rd and 20. 3 receivers left, 1 right.
Yeah, you got to keep everything in front of you. Don't let them get to the sticks if you're the Blue Devils.
Barnes all day to throw, looking for Algernon Crawford out of the backfield. That was Madrian Blackman, who had a big catch in the first half. 4th and 20 coming up, incomplete. Obvious punting situation for Glade Central.
Blackman was able to get his left hand on that football. It would have been a big play, maybe even a touchdown. He was wide open, but the ball was a little thrown out in front of him a little too far there on 3rd down.
And I do want to apologize to my Pahokee faithful here, too. Singleton has been getting some carries for Pahokee as well tonight. Singleton and Arnold, the 2 backs. Obviously, Mitchell runs the ball very well for this offense as well. But they're going to be getting the ball back here. And, Coach, their Upman, who's about to be returning this, he's almost close to the 50. Should be some pretty good field position here for the Blue Devils as they try to come back in this game.
Well, maybe he knows something, or maybe the punt won't go that far. But you've got to possess the football if it doesn't go that far.
And actually, Coach, not halfway of a pretty decent punt. That one rolls out. Referees are going to spot that right at the 40-yard line. So Pahokee getting the ball back at their 40. 4:36 to go in the second quarter. 14-0 Glade Central on top. Third quarter, 4:36 to go. Second half action, 14-0 Glade Central on top.
Well, the Blue Devils have gotten everything that they wanted here in the second half. They control the clock. They just got to get points on the other end. Now they're back on offense. Let's see how creative they are. Are they still being able to take those profits, or are they going to go back to the way they played in the first half?
Once again, too, folks, all touchdowns brought to you by Racetrack. All first downs brought to you by HSS Florida. You hear Christian Cat talk all the time about all the tasty treats Racetrack has. Go visit a local racetrack near to you. And I think this is me talking into existence the Pahokee Blue Devils, getting in the end zone, Coach, to make this a 1-score game on our HSS Florida Game of the Week. We are live at the Muck Bowl. Pahokee has the ball on their own 30, handoff, and he's going to rumble and stumble for about 3 yards there. Going to be 2nd and 7 coming up for Pahokee. And I believe we have a down player on the field. Gain of 4 on the play. It was Tristan Gooden on the carry, number 4 for Pahokee. Let's take a 30-second timeout while they look at the injured player on the field. This is your HSS Game of the Week, presented by Smith Ball, Bias, and Prather on ESPN 106.3, streaming live on our Top 63 YouTube page. Go check it out.
Are you one of those people that just can't focus at home? The dog barks, the kids are screaming, and you're thinking, how am I going to get all of this work done? Working from home can be distracting. But Intelligent Office is here to help you focus. They offer quiet and affordable private office and meeting spaces in Palm Beach Gardens to help you get your work done. Call 561-472-8400 or visit intelligentoffice.com to reserve an office today.
You're listening to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, presented by HSS Florida. Choose better, move better, and supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather.
Where we're coming to your city.
Still treating the injured player on the field. Coach Bell trying to figure out exactly what's going on. And It's a 14-0 game. Glade Central on top of the Pahokee Blue Devils. It is the Muck Bowl. Beautiful night. The type of weather the snowbirds love moving down to South Florida for it at 70 and no humidity. Mike Rizzo and legendary coach Jimmy Bell on the call for the HSS Game of the Week presented by Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather on ESPN 106.3. Stream live, folks. You can watch the video on our Top 63 YouTube page. Beautiful night, Coach. I mean, like I said, a snowbird like myself is a big reason why I like being in South Florida this time of year.
Well, it's beautiful for you. You got on shorts, but look at here. Look, I got a jacket right here.
Yeah.
So as soon as I walk out, I'm going to throw this thing on. I'm not used to it, and it's a little different for me.
Yeah, that's the parkas are being brought out here. I mean, geez, let's take 10 seconds to hit our legal ID all across the HSS Game of the Week radio network presented by Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
So I believe the injured player on the floor, or rather on the ground, Coach Bell and I trying to get a number here. And that is Uzarius Boswell, the junior, who finally is getting off the field. We hope everything is okay with that young man as play is resumed. Second down, going to be 3rd and 5 coming up after that run for Pahokee. Gratman on the carry. Going to be 3rd and 5 coming up for the Pahokee Blue Devils.
You know, one thing I noticed about the Raiders of Glade Central is they're limiting any runs after contact. Everybody's rallying around the football. They're putting a hat on a hat, and they've done a great job of holding this Pahokee offense in check.
Handoff left side. Is that enough for the first down? Johan Grantley on the carry. And it looks like they are moving the sticks on the far sideline. That is a HSS first down for the Pahokee Blue Devils.
Well, you're Pahokee. Again, you're right where you want to be. Keep this game tight. Don't allow Glade Central's offense to be on the field. And remember, going back to the first half, they put the ball on the ground a lot of fumbles. So you got to hold on to the football, try to get some points at the end.
Fumbles and self-inflicted penalties too, Coach. So Grantley, Singleton, and Arnold all getting carries here for Pahokee in this game. 1st and 10, ball almost to the 50-yard line, that 48 of Pahokee as Mitchell is going deep. He's looking to the sideline, and he threw it into double coverage. That was almost intercepted. The Glade Central defensive backfield has been active tonight, Coach. They have 2 interceptions, only 1 counted.
Yeah.
But it was a tough throw there by Mitchell. Maybe look elsewhere as that was thrown into double coverage.
Well, that too, and also you got to throw the ball much faster than that, because if you wait until the receiver gets side by side with the defensive back, the rule of thumb is he's even, he's leaving. So throw the ball early and stop trying to throw it so far, and you can put it right in the breadbasket for a big play for this offense.
Arnold back in the backfield for Pahokee. This is going to be 2nd and 10 here, coming up right on the 50-yard line. Mitchell takes the snap, steps up in the pocket. He's going to run. He's got enough for the first down, slides, and a good heads-up play there by Xavier Mitchell.
Yeah, they're going to mark him. Well, they may have given him the first down, but he looked like he was a little short because he started to slide. But good job there by Mitchell of seeing the field, knowing where you are. There's nothing there down the field, taking off, and then protecting yourself by getting down.
This is your HSS Game of the Week presented by Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather. Mike Rizzo on the call. Legendary Palm Beach County coach Jimmy Bell with me on the call. It's 2:29 and counting to go in the 3rd quarter. Pahokee down 14-0, but they are in Glade Central territory for the 2nd time this half on their 40. 1st and 10. Mitchell takes the snap, goes right, and Coach, he's going to lose one. It was a quarterback sweep, 2nd and 11 coming up for the Pahokee Blue Devils.
Well, you got to get inside if you're Mitchell on that. He had it around the right end, but then all of a sudden the defender shows you got to run away from color. He continued to try to go toward the sideline and got ran down. And as you mentioned, he lost yardage on that play.
So Pahokee, as I've mentioned, has had a plethora of ball carriers tonight. But Arnold is Samuel Arnold back in the backfield. He is their most dangerous running back on the year. 3 receivers bunched up left, 1 split out right. Arnold in the backfield. Mitchell takes the snap. Play action. Rolls right. Throws right. That's Arnold out of the backfield. And enough for an HSS Florida first down. But I believe Coach Jimmy Bell is alluding to me holding. And this one is coming back, Coach.
Yeah, unfortunately it's coming back. That was a good play by Mitchell, getting the ball out in space to Arnold and finding him in the flat. That's what you want from your quarterback. Looking down the field, not running the run, but running the throw. But unfortunately, there's a hold on that play.
1:22 to go in the third quarter, 14-0. Glade's on top, and penalties, fumbles, self-inflicted errors on the Pahokee Blue Devils are the reason that they do not have points at this juncture in the game, but they have moved the ball. They have moved the ball. This is the second time they're in Glade Central territory this half. They stalled out on the Glades 30 the last time, and now with the penalty, they're put behind the sticks here as they are looking at an injured Glade Central player right now, Coach. But Pahokee needs to get on the board sooner rather than later.
Well, it's a mindset. Again, they did the same thing against Newman a couple of weeks ago earlier in the season. This is the way they played, self-inflicted. But, again, they're a very talented team. But I can look at them and see down the road when they go to the playoffs and they go to Hawthorne or Monticello or somewhere in the north, these are the kind of games that they're going to play in. Physical, and the speed will be neutralized because of the physicality. So you got to play sound football, 4 quarters of sound football in order to win in the state of Florida. They're very talented, don't get me wrong, but they're hurting themselves time after time. They're getting down the field, and then there's 2 steps forward and 3 steps backwards.
So they are still tending to the injured player down on the far sideline as a Glade Central player. I believe it is Cramps, Coach. As he pops up now, he's all good.
Yeah. He did something I could never do, jump right up from the ground, straight up in the air.
Well,
I mean,
30 years ago, Coach, come on now. You're doing
that.
You're doing that. That was Dion Viren, the freshman defensive backman. And I mentioned that defensive backfield for Glade Central. They're having a heck of a night tonight. They have 2 interceptions, only 1 counted, but it came right after the first interception was wiped off the board. Yeah. So we're back in play here. After that penalty, Pahokee is officially in their own territory again. Ball frozen at that 48-yard line. Takes the snap, looks right, and more flags, Coach. I believe this is going to be a false start, maybe. By the way, that was second down. Coach, second at about 30. And there was 12 men on the defense. And that is actually going to move the ball forward for Pahokee. They're inching closer to that original line of scrimmage. It's going to be second and about 16, 17-ish coming up for the Blue Devils.
Well, unfortunately, that play was blown dead for a flag. But the thing about it is Pahokee had a screen called in. I think it was going to be wide open in the middle of the field. And that's what they have to take advantage of, the speed of this defense.
38, 37, 36. Clock winding down in the third quarter. Going to be one of the last plays until the final quarter of the game. Mitchell takes the snap, looks left. He throws left. That ball is dropped. He was looking for Kamari Foreman on the play. Going to be 3rd and long coming up for the Blue Devils. Clock frozen now at 25.2 seconds after the incompletion.
Yeah,
so 3rd and long coming up, Coach.
Yeah, just the timing is off a little bit between quarterback and receivers. Again, you expect this time of the year, 9 games in, for them to hit that. That's something you work on after practice all week, every day. But unfortunately tonight, the emotions are rising high, and they've been pressing all night long, the Blue Devils.
Coach, 3 receivers for Pahokee have over 250 yards receiving, so we know what they're capable of. Could be nerves, could be a mixture of the both, as we have a man in motion for Pahokee, 2 receivers right, 2 left, and it's going to be a screen pass, and that ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and a mile coming up for Pahokee.
Yeah, I'm a little frustrated. You saw me raise my hands there because they came right back to the same play. Well, Glade saw it. You almost ran the play, but the officials blew it dead. You got to go away from that. You got to get to something else, come back to that a little bit later. But you can't go right back to it because they've already seen it defensively, and they were waiting right there, even if you had completed it.
It's a screen out of the backfield that Coach Bell is alluding to, and Glade Central snuffed that one out. Obvious punting situation, 4th and about 17 at Glade Central's about 47, 46-yard line, but Pahokee 5th punt of the night. 2 Upman back for Glade Central as a fair catch is waved, caught. Glade Central going to get the ball back at their own 20. Let's take a 30-second timeout on your HSS Game of the Week, the Muck Bowl. Glade Central and Pahokee on ESPN 106.3.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
8 seconds left to go in the half and rolling. Glade Central 1st and 10 and a big carry. Gain of about 9 yards. We'll have to see where they spot the ball. And I think they aren't calling it a first down, and we have officially hit the end of the third quarter. No points in that third quarter. Score frozen 14-0. Glade Central on top of Pahokee. We'll take another 30-second timeout right here on your HSS Florida Game of the Week, the Muck Bowl on ESPN 106.3.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
You're listening to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, presented by HSS Florida. Choose better, move better, and supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather.
Well, we're coming to your city.
In the Muck Bowl, Pahokee hosting Glade Central in one of the more bitter rivalries in the state. It's the HSS Game of the Week, presented by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather. Mike Rizzo and legendary Palm Beach County coach Jimmy Bell on the call. Glade Central up 14-0. They have the ball on their own 25. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Taj Barnes barks his orders, gives it to Stinford. Stinford does get back to the line of scrimmage. Gain of 0, though. 2nd and 10 coming up for Glade Central. Coach Bell, Pahokee needs the ball, and they need it back fast.
Well, you got to come in as the first guy, make the tackle. The next guy comes in and try to strip the football out. But if I'm Glade Central, I want to milk this clock down. I'm not doing anything fancy. Every now and then I'm going to throw the football, but what I want to do is keep control of this football game. We're in pretty good shape right now.
Fourth quarter, 11:29 and counting to go in the football game. I mentioned Glade Central on top 14-0. Barnes in the shotgun. 3 receivers left, 1 right. He takes the snap. He looks right, steps up in the pocket. He's going to run, and that is going to be enough for a first down. As we do have a flag on the play, holding against Glade Central. Move that back, Coach Bell. Another penalty in the Muck Bowl.
Yeah, it's been a tough night for penalties. Again, a lot of movement up front. Guys are grabbing and holding, and the officials are on it. So it happens, but that's something you got to eliminate from your game as you move forward. Both of these teams got the mindset, and they will be in the playoffs. You got to be playoff ready, and you can't do that against better teams, or you'll be packing your bags and going home.
Second and 20 coming up for Glade Central after the penalty. Taj Barnes in the shotgun, Stinford to his right. 3 receivers left, 1 right. 10:44 and counting to go in the football game. Barnes drops back. He's in trouble, Coach. He gets a screen pass off to Stinford, and it's snuffed out by that Pahokee defense. The Blue Devils were not fooled there. Big stop for Pahokee.
Well, they weren't, but the screen took so long to develop. It's supposed to be slow development. However, as a running back, you got to get caught up in the mesh. So what you do is you go in like you're going to block, and then all of a sudden you peel outside, and the quarterback finds you. Running back just kind of ran out and right into the path of the defender.
Third and a mile coming up, Coach. We have not seen much offense in this second half so far. No points up on the board. You saw Pahokee go into Glade's territory 2 times on their 2 possessions, but no points. And Central has done nothing but gone backwards since the start of the second half. 3 receivers left, 1 right, Stinford the back. Barnes drops back. He steps up, rolls left, deep throw, but that ball hit the turf, incomplete. 4th down coming up for the Raiders. That ball was intended for Madrian Blackman, but I'll tell you what, Algernon Crawford was wide open on that near side sideline as well, Coach. Pahokee going to be getting the ball back.
Yeah, they're lucky to get the ball back because he was wide open on the sideline. Had the ball been thrown to him, he'd probably still be running, but just an errant throw there by the quarterback, threw it a little short. What happens a lot of times when guys are rolling to the, that's why I said force him to the left, because when he's rolling to the left, the nose of the ball sometimes goes down because he's got it pointed down. You got to have it up in the air, pointing toward his helmet, and then throw it toward his head, and it'll come right to his chest.
Mike Rizzo and Jimmy Bell on the call. It's the HSS Game of the Week presented by Smithball, Baez, and Prather. 4th and a mile coming up for Glade Central on their own 15-yard line. They're going to have to punt it back to Pahokee. Punt is underway. It's a short roller, but it is fielded by Pahokee and a big tackle at midfield. That was good coverage by the Glade Central special teams. But Pahokee going to get the ball in midfield. Good field position, Coach.
Yeah, but, you know, one thing I can tell you is the Raiders have been playing this at a different level tonight. More physical at the point of attack. And they've coming down on special teams. That's the second time they made a huge play on special teams. And that's the way they've been playing all night. Pahokee's kind of sleepwalking here in the second half. They got to find a way to get something done offensively.
4th quarter Muck Bowl action. 9:32 is the time left in the 4th quarter. 14-0 Central on top of Pahokee. If this score were to hold pat, this would be the 2nd straight win for Glade Central in the Muck Bowl rivalry, but plenty of time to go. Pahokee, not the ball, what I'm going to call their own 49-yard line, not quite midfield. Mitchell takes the snap, drops back, throws, got a man. That's going to be enough for a 1st down. Pahokee, Coach, with some movement on the first play.
That's what I want from Pahokee. Throw the ball right across the middle of the field. There's a lot of pressure coming on the edges. Just step up as a quarterback and find somebody in the middle to try to keep the clock the chains moving.
One of Mitchell's more comfortable throws he's thrown all night. We've seen Pahokee want to go downfield and get the big play, but they drop back now again. Mitchell does the smart decision of running it, and Coach, that's near the 1st down again. We're going to have to wait and see what the lines judge have to say. They're going to call it 2nd and about 2 coming up. We're calling it an 8-yard scamper by Mitchell.
Yeah, and that's what Mitchell brings. He has the ability to move the chains with his feet. But the one thing is, as coaches, you got to get guys right in his vision in order for him to hit those throws. Those long throws down the field are very difficult.
So 2nd and short coming up for the Pahokee offense. This is the most dangerous they looked all night with the football. Mitchell drops back. He actually looks in the middle of the field, picks up the 1st down. HSS 1st down on the play. As folks, you got to bear with me. I'm struggling with the numbers and the black jerseys as we get late into the night. But certainly, good pass, good throw to the Pahokee receiver.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult because of the way the jerseys are designed. But again, we can see that right across the middle of the field, that's where the ball needs to be completed. They're doing a good job, the Blue Devils.
And I believe we have a hydration break or officials timeout with 8:02 to go.
We have a player down on the
Player down for Glade Central. 14-0 is that score. Coach, we'll keep it here. This is a good drive for Pahokee. This is exactly what the Blue Devils need right now. Get points on the board and then hopefully rely on your defense to get a stop and get the ball back. Plenty of time with 8 minutes. We saw this game go to overtime last year.
Yeah.
So I'm not ruling anything out of the book yet as Pahokee looks dangerous right now on the offensive end.
They do, as long as they take what they've been given. So throw the ball across the middle of the field. That's the easiest throw for the quarterback. When you try to get guys 20, 30 yards down the field, the percentages go way down to completing those type of passes. Be able to run the ball on a draw, any kind of screen, because defensively, Glade Central is going to be coming up the field. So you've got all of that underneath. Just take whatever they give you.
But Pahokee, a team who has had an incredible year. Glade Central has had an incredible year. These are two teams that are already playoff bound. The playoff brackets, Coach, come out on Thursday, but these are two teams who already know that they are going to be in the big dance. And I'll tell you what, Coach, I think these are two teams that could go pretty deep in their own respectable areas of the bracket.
And they will, and they play great football. But the thing about it is Pahokee is not at their level playing tonight that I've seen them play in the past. They're a much better football team. They just got to slow it down right here. They still got 8 minutes, 2 seconds left here in the fourth. Get points on this drive, take what the on defense gives them, and try to move the ball down the field. But the one thing about this game I love is that, you know, think about it this way. Most teams try to get an easy game at the end of the season so they don't have injuries and all. These guys don't worry about that. They just play with both feet on the gas and with the head back on the headrest and just go forward. And that's what I love about this small-town rivalry.
We'd still have our player down out on the field. A lot of cramping tonight, Coach. A lot of stoppage of play because of cramps. And, you know, it's that time of the year where you've played a lot of games, Coach. You've played a lot of football. The wear and tear might be coming in here.
Yeah, law of attrition, and you know that all too well as a former player. But the thing about it is, as players, you have to hydrate before the game. Even on a cool night, you got to hydrate because that energy level is flowing, and you got to make sure you got fluids in your body, not on game day.
So back in action, Mitchell takes the snap after 2 straight first downs, is looking end zone, and that ball's intercepted, Coach. Thrown into double coverage, and he's going to take it out of the end zone. This is Jalen Bowie, who you said, Coach, that last name, a household name for Glade Central. He had an interception in the first half.
Yeah.
They washed it because of PI, but he's back, and he got an interception this time around.
Those guys don't miss in the secondary. These are not your average defensive backs. You know, mostly you say that defensive back, guys playing defensive back because he can't catch. These guys are different. They can play receiver on any team in this county and probably for any team in this state. So you can't throw it up there just hoping and wishing. You got to put the ball in a spot to a receiver, and that's the difference in this ball game so far. The mistakes on Pahokee's side.
14-0, still that score. Coach, the sad part is, too, for Pahokee. You start off 3 plays, 3 first downs.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come out of the break like that after the injury timeout and you throw it back into double coverage. It's in a rivalry game like this where, you know, emotions are high in the crowd and on the field, you hate to see that for the young man at the quarterback position.
Yeah, you really do.
So first down for Glade Central on that their own 18-yard line after the Bowie return, and we do have a stoppage of play, I believe, Coach. False start possibly. I'm waiting on a signal here. 7:27 to go in the game, and it's going to go against the defense encroachment, Coach Bell is telling me.
Yeah, they're lined up in the neutral zone trying to fire off and get to the football, but again, you got to know where you are on the field. Just look to the sideline where the official is. Look at the football. It'll tell you if you're past the ball. That's an easy 5 yards for Glade Central.
Folks, this is your HSS Game of the Week presented by Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather. Mike Rizzo filling in for the voice of high school football, Christian Cat, and the legendary Palm Beach County coach, Jimmy Bell, to my left. 7:07 and counting. Fourth quarter, Glade Central on top of Pahokee 14-0 in the Muck Bowl. 34th Muck Bowl. Barnes under center for the second time tonight. Takes the snap, hands it off to his running back, going nowhere. Coach, it looks like Omar Huggabook is okay with draining clock and maybe trusting his defense here up 2 scores.
When you talk about Hall of Famer, he is from Troy University. He's in the Hall of Famer is Omar Huggabook. He understands the game. So listen, yeah, I want to throw the ball down the field, but I also understand if I keep giving Pahokee opportunities, they're going to take advantage. The only loss this year Glade Central had was against Sebring. Very physical team, big, huge offensive line. Now Glade is trying to play at that same level here late in the game and being physical. Running when you know you have to run is important.
Coach, their running back Armand Stinford was part of our top 63 here on ESPN 106.3, where we honor the best 63 players along the Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast area. And throwing there on second down. That ball is incomplete. He was looking for Juder Joseph. Taj Barnes looking for Juder Joseph. Going to be 3rd and long coming up for the Raiders. And we have a hydration break called by the referees. Let's take a timeout on your HSS Game of the Week presented by Smithball, Bias, and Prather.
Stewart Air Show, November 7th, 8th, and 9th at Witham Field in Stewart. Celebrate aviation's best and feel the power and precision of military jets featuring the F-35 Lightning. On Friday, see the Twilight Air Show with fireworks and breathtaking drone display and Dirty Flight Suit Party by TD Bank. Witness aviation history and the legendary B-29 Super Fortress. Kids will love the adventure of a scavenger hunt sponsored by Dave & Buster's. Tickets and upgrade information available now at StewartAirShow.com.
You're listening to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, presented by HSS Florida. Choose better, move better, and supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather.
Well, we're coming to your city.
Welcome on back to your HSS Game of the Week. We're in the Muck Bowl, baby. Legendary rivalry between Glade Central and Pahokee High School. 6:15 left to go in the ball game, Coach, and Pahokee needs the ball back on a 3rd and what I'm calling about a 7-8. 3rd, about 7 and 8 to go for Glade Central. Takes the snap is Boyd. He drops back, and Coach, they're throwing. Pass complete to the sideline, and that's a 1st down for Glade Central. At this juncture of the game, Coach, very big 1st down there for Glade Central.
Risky, but understand what they're doing. Even though he threw the football, it was safe to the sideline, and only his guy can catch the ball. So if he makes one guy miss, as he did on that play, you get a huge 1st down.
That was to the junior Jatavius James on that sideline. 6:05, clock frozen after the 1st down. 14-0, Glade Central still on top. Pahokee needs a turnover or a stop here. Handoff, Stinford with space. Stinford crosses the 50, 40, 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Armand Stinford, 60-yard touchdown run for the top 63 player. But another flag. Oh, God. Flag on the play. They are calling holding on Glade Central. It's a hold. Hold the phone, guys. There's a hold. And it's going against Glade Central, Coach.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, never a better run you'll see. Again, get inside, get yourself lost in the shuffle, and just find a way to come out of that pile. And Stinford did it on that play. Great run of about 60 yards, as you mentioned.
I mentioned, man, Stinford, a top 63 player, one of the better players in the area. Coach Bell, he bounced that out,
Yes,
and
sir.
you mentioned goodbye.
Good night, Irene. Yes, sir. And, you know, the thing about it, you always need a guy that has that next level speed.
Yep.
And so, yeah, guys can run the ball, but can you find a way to run away from the defense? Guys got an angle on you, and they still can't catch you. I love it. I got to see more runs
Coach,
like that.
a ton of penalties. Now,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not saying I was glued to the line of scrimmage because I was watching the amazing run by Stinford, but that is the break Pahokee needs as 5:31 and counting, down 14-0. That ball is moved back. It is 2nd and a mile coming up for Glade Central, Coach. Barnes takes the snap, looks right. He steps up in the pocket. No one's open, Coach. He's going to tuck and go. Barnes roaming to the sideline, and he stays inbounds. It's a veteran play there by the senior quarterback. Notice he was drifted towards out of bounds. Takes the hit. That clock's going to keep rolling at 5:03.
Gain of about 5 brings up 2nd down.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 16. I apologize. That was 1st down. The penalty's throwing me off, folks. 2nd and long coming up. 4:49 and counting to go in the ball game. Coach, they got. When are you clocking timeouts here if you're Carlos Lamons?
Yeah, he'll figure it out at some point. But you know, I realize we got to stop him here on 2nd down.
It's 2nd, yeah.
Yeah, got to stop him here, and then we'll try to stop the clock.
Barnes takes the snap, looks right. Coach, they're throwing. That ball almost intercepted. It's a good job there by the Pahokee linebacker. That was number 18, I believe, for Pahokee with the great defensive play, Damarian Harris. Or Corian Davis, excuse me, number 16 on the play.
But those are the kind of plays you got to have, because if he catches that, he maybe can turn it up and go up the sideline, and you got to help your defense. But those are the kind of opportunities Pahokee has missed on all night long.
Coach, crucial play coming up on 3rd down. Pahokee needs to get that defense off the field. Clock frozen at 4:26 after the Davis, deflection, almost interception. Barnes drops back. They're throwing again. He's directing traffic. A flag. It's probably going to be holding, but they're going to decline it because Barnes ended up throwing the ball out of bounds. Pahokee going to get the ball back, Coach. 4:18 to go. 14-0. Still that score.
Yeah, and as much as I've been giving Glade Central credit for their good play calling, now they're going away from it by still throwing the ball. Run the ball. I mean, take the clock. The clock is your friend. So you run the football, you put the pressure on Pahokee to have to burn the timeouts, and you want to get out of here clean.
Coach Bell, I apologize to you and our listeners. I lost count after 8 penalties. I was marking, and I've officially lost count of penalties, folks.
Well, can you
I
count
apologize.
the stars up there in the sky?
I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, it's been a tough night.
It's been a tough night as far as teams getting penalized tonight in the Muck Bowl. But 4:18 to go. 2 scores. Pahokee is down. Coach, what are you thinking here?
Well, if you don't go for it, well, they didn't go for it, but you got to get a good return here.
It's now Pahokee, and that ball, he mucked the return, but he ends up on it. Coach, that's the 4th time tonight, a special team error for Pahokee, but they've been able to recover it.
Each time.
Each time is the 4th time we've had a miscue on the special team side, but Pahokee able to get back on top of it. And Coach, as far as my last question, what do you think? 4:07, down 14. What are your odds of you giving Pahokee that they could get back into this football game?
Well, they're still right there. There's time. Again, you got to get a score here in about a 2-minute range and then try to get the football back. But again, Glazer's not going to allow you to go past them. So throw the ball short, try to make a guy miss. Every time you get a first down, the clock's going to stop.
And Coach, you mentioned middle of the field.
Yes,
middle of the field.
Yeah.
Start throwing the ball in the middle of the field. Get the ball to all of your playmakers. Foreman, Lawrence, and Sims on the year, the receivers, all have over 250 yards receiving. It's a very talented Pahokee team. Mitchell drops back, pressure's on. There's that short middle of the field throw to Arnold. He turns up quickly upfield. He is across the 45, and Coach Bell, they got to go.
Yeah, you got to go. I mean, it's a first down, so the clock's going to stop. Get your team back to the line of scrimmage, call 2 plays in the huddle, and get ready to go. As soon as the ball is set, you got to go.
Coach, 3:55, 3:54, and counting now after the sticks have been set, 14-0. They're still taking their time here.
Yeah.
Coach Bell does not like they haven't snapped the ball yet. 3:40, 3:39, ball is snapped. Mitchell going deep on the sideline. Nobody home.
It's not there. You can't keep throwing the ball down there. You got to throw the ball across the middle. They've got 2 guys sitting back 20 yards back deep. You can't throw it back there. Forget about it.
And, Coach, there's another flag on the field. Pass interference against Glade Central. 3:32, the clock is frozen. That's a 15-yard penalty, and Pahokee's going to have some really good field position now in Glade Central territory as they need 7 here, Coach, to make it a 1-score game with 3:32 to go in the ball game.
Well, I don't know if it's Coach Eddie Lee Rose or what, but somebody's living right in Pahokee because they're getting some opportunities here tonight.
3:32 to go in the ball game. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Mitchell drops back, flushed out of the pocket, and he goes down. Maybe a timeout here by Coach Lammons as now the clock is rolling after that sack. 3:19, 3:18. Coach, in your expertise, would you call a timeout here?
Yeah, you got to gather them here because now your team's all over the place. Guys still 20 yards down the field. Settle your quarterback down, know the situation, talk to him about situation, but it's just he's taking too many plays here.
Coach, he's not calling a timeout. 3:01, 3 minutes. We're under 3 minutes to go here now. He's going, Coach Lamb is going to go quick. Here's Mitchell on or is that Arnold on a short run? But Coach, I mean that clock is still going to go.
Yeah.
As now referee blows his whistle, and I believe there is a player down. Official timeout injury on the field, but 2:45 to go, Coach. Are you a little surprised that maybe a timeout wasn't called there after that sack by the Glade Central defense?
Yeah, you want to preserve as much time as you can because now you've got players 20, 25 yards down the field. You got to settle your quarterback down. He just took a big sack. You got to teach him, though, on that. And I know he's a veteran guy, but when you're outside the pocket, just throw it out of bounds. You don't lose those 8, 9 yards on that play and time. So all of those things come into play in the mindset of the quarterback. Those are things you talk about in situations with him during your meetings, and so he's got to know that on the field.
2:45 clock frozen. They're still dealing with the injured Raider on the field. Let's actually take a quick timeout here on your HSS Florida Game of the Week.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
You're listening to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, presented by HSS Florida. Choose better, move better, and supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather.
Well, we're coming to your city.
3rd down and 9 for Pahokee. This is your HSS Game of the Week, the Muck Bowl, Glade Central, and the Pahokee Blue Devils. Mike Rizzo and legendary Palm Beach County coach Jimmy Bell. 2:42. Clock is rolling now. You got to. The time might be of an issue here as Mitchell now takes the snap. He's looking to that middle of the field. Ball complete. I believe that is to Arnold. Is that enough for the first down, Coach?
Yeah, I believe it is, yeah.
And it is. First down for Pahokee.
But you notice that most of the time when he looks across the middle of the field, it's wide open. That's what you got to take offensively.
So first and 10, 2:20 and counting to go in the football game. Got to get in the end zone. Pahokee looking middle of the field. Ball caught. That's Kamari Foreman. And I believe that is enough for a first down. Referee's telling him to go. Clock frozen at 2:11.
First down, first and goal for the Blue Devils. 2 minutes.
Coach Lamons has saved his timeouts. He did not call a timeout after that big sack. It's seeming to pay off if they could get in the end zone. And that's where Mitchell was looking. Passes incomplete on that right side of the end zone. He was looking for Antoine Lawrence.
Now, you get down here, as the field shrinks, it's going to be more difficult. But nevertheless, if you do what Glade Central did to you earlier, you got 2 guys, run a guy in motion because the clock has stopped, and now you can get leverage because you got a 3rd guy on two defensive backs and try to get something to the end zone.
1:57 on the clock. Mitchell, I mean, Coach, they need to get in now. They needed to get in yesterday. But with under 2 minutes to go in the football game, you got to score here because you need to get a stop on the defensive side as well. You need enough for your defense. Mitchell drops back, looking end zone. He's going to try to tuck and run, but he's short. Ball on the 3-yard line of Central. Pahokee going to go quick, Coach. 1:43, 1:42. Mitchell looks to the sideline, barks his orders to the line of scrimmage. Claps, snaps, Mitchell hands it off, and it looked like he wanted to keep it. Is he going to get in? And he is short, I believe. He is short on the 1-yard line. It was a read option. Mitchell decided to keep it. Coach, 1:18 and counting.
You got to go.
Got to go. And now Coach Lamons takes a timeout. 1:14 to go in the ball game. And that coach, talk to me about that read option because Mitchell, the quarterback, took a while to hand that one off.
Yeah.
He couldn't decide if he wanted to keep it or not.
He held it too long, and if he hadn't held it that long, the back would have gotten into the end zone. But because he put it on his back hip, he had to grab the football and then reestablish it, try to get to the end zone, and he couldn't get the push at the last second. But Pahokee's got to go. They can't stand around, go right back to the same formation. You don't have time to move guys around when the clock is running.
So Coach Lamons takes his first timeout. I believe I believe that was the first of the second half. He's got 2 left, and it is. He's got 2 left in the game, 1:14 to go. You know, I joked around. I said Pahokee needed to get in yesterday, but now, Coach, I mean, it's do or die time here. You call your best play in the playbook. Am I correct on this?
What you're looking for is a matchup here. You're down, what is it, the 1 yard line? So you just got to get in the game. You'll get in the end zone here, and now you got to get reset. But you got to get in the end zone. You don't have a choice here if you're the Blue Devils.
4th down, 4th and 1, do or die time for Pahokee. You need the best play in your playbook here. This is the game, folks. A Wildcat formation, direct snap to the back, and I believe he is short. Glade Central gonna take over. Wild scenes on the opposite visitor bench as Glade Central is on their way to winning their 2nd straight Muck Bowl.
Yeah, so many opportunities tonight for the Blue Devils, but they just didn't take advantage. Again, you get a shotgun snap at about 6 or 7 yards and you need 1 yard. It's going to be kind of hard to get in there because now any penetration is going to throw you off. So it's a tough call, but, hey, you're trying to get in the end zone. I get what they're trying to do.
Coach Bell, these are 2 great coaches on each sideline.
Yeah.
I go back to what Coach Omar Hugglebook did in the first half with that waggle and the wide receiver. That was his best play in the playbook. I'm not sure if Wildcat 3 running backs in the backfield is the correct call, but listen, that was a heck of a drive for Pahokee. I'm speaking selfishly here. It's a shame that they weren't able to stick it into the end zone and to maybe get their defense back out on the field to try to get a stop. But listen, you give a lot of credit to Glade Central, and they will actually take a timeout. They had a bend, don't break defense all second half. Pahokee, as far as yards, they did great. They got stalled out on the 30. They got stalled out with an interception, but they were in Central territory.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about Omar Hugglebook's defense here on bend, don't break, and it looks like they're on their way to a 2nd straight Muck Bowl, Coach.
Well, the thing about it is, and I say this quite often, that good coaches make adjustments on Monday after they've seen the film. The great ones do it during halftime and during the game. And so when you make those in-game adjustments in the second half, you're Pahokee, the one thing that we keep emphasizing at this level, you've got to throw the ball across the middle of the field. It's wide open. You can't keep trying to throw the deep ball. I know that's what you want. That's what you're made of. But that won't work against a team with the same amount of speed that you have. So just take what they give you, learn from this experience. And this is why pencils have erasers. So you got to go back and erase this, go back to the drawing board, and try to fix it and get ready for next week for the playoffs.
I'll tell you what, though, folks. The atmosphere here at Pahokee High School has been fantastic. I want to thank everybody here in the press box that has treated us like absolute royalty tonight. I know it's not the result Pahokee was looking forward to tonight, but I'll tell you what, great people here in the Muck on both sides of the field. So Central did take a timeout. They, for all intents and purposes, I guess Pahokee could maybe get a safety here if they're not careful. But, Coach, that's not going to happen. Stinford has the corner, but more flags on the play. Armand Stinford, by the way, it was a trick play. He got the ball on that left side. I was not ready for that. I thought the ball was going right up the middle, Coach. Stinford had about a 20-yard run, but I think they're going to do half of a distance on a hold. Or a block in the back, excuse me. Block in the back, half the distance.
Yeah, he's pretty slow, isn't he? Going around that left.
Holy cow. I mean, my goodness, Armand Stinford, he had what seemed like a 60-yard touchdown earlier in the quarter. It got called back with a holding call. Like I said, I joked around. I lost count after 8 penalties in this game, but certainly flags still flying here with 58 seconds to go on the half-inch line of Glade Central. Glade Central with the ball. Pahokee looking to get a safety, maybe get the ball back, and a miracle. Now we have more whistles. I think someone doesn't have their mouthpiece in, a helmet thing. Now the referees are going to talk about it. The lines judge runs over to the head referee. Tell you what, I'm smelling that barbecue, Coach. Smelling that famous Muck barbecue that President of Good Karma Brand, Steve Pollitt Sr. was telling me to get. And they are having a discussion for where the ball should be placed. appreciate our good buddy Ken here up in the press box keeping us updated. 58 seconds to go in the game. Still waiting on to blow the whistle to get play going. Waiting for the back judge to put his hand up, to be exact. And now he does. Ball is snapped. Stinford takes it, gains about 2 on the play, and he is thrown down. I'm assuming Coach Lamons clocks his second timeout, and he does. Timeout Pahokee. But, Coach, what good is that going to do at this juncture in the game?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you've had the opportunities tonight if you're the Blue Devils several times. You inside the 30-yard line, as you mentioned, down there at the 1-yard line, and you didn't score. So it's going to be a tall order here in order to win.
Coach, it's going to be second down. Theoretically, Coach Lamons will call another timeout. It'll be third down. So you're going to have 10 seconds left with the ball?
Yeah.
We need a miracle. No, excuse me. Pahokee needs a miracle. But coaches talking to their teams, and Coach, is the final game of the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got the playoff bracket coming out on Thursday. Yep. Let's focus on Pahokee here for a second, because they're going to be the losing side in this bitter and respected Muck Bowl rivalry. What do you think Carlos Lamons is going to tell his group after dropping a rivalry game like this heading into the playoffs?
Well, you knew coming in it was going to go one way or the other, but you got to regroup now. This part of the season is over. Now you start 0-0. You get into the playoffs, and they're going to host a game first round, but then they'll probably travel if they get to weeks 2 and 3. And those games are played in North Florida because all the small schools are in the Panhandle area, Tallahassee area. So the weather's going to be a little different. That's why I say they got to be able to run the football.
So, Coach, on second down, they're going to run. And is that a safety? Or are they going to give him line, or are they going to give him forward progress there? I believe the head referee will give forward progress. It's going to be third down, actually. So I'm hearing as well, I did not have eyes on that back judge, but a couple of our good friends here in the Pahokee press box saying she was saying safety.
Yeah, the line judge on the side there, she walked all the way back as if it were safety.
And the head referee says no safety. It is forward progress, and Carlos Lamons will have to call that final time out. Let's take a 30-second break here on your HSS Game of the Week. Mike Rizzo, Jimmy Bell, live at the Muck Bowl.
Hey Colin, what's up?
How's the gym?
It's been great. I'm seeing results. My sports certified Vitacost products have made a world of difference.
Oh, same. Isn't it great? Vitacost is basically the reason I've been able to keep up with Ironman training. Everything you need is in one place for my BCAAs, protein, and electrolytes. Best part, it's all clean and free of banned substances.
Go re-up on your supplements today. Visit Vitacost.com and use code ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game with Vitacost.
You're listening to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, presented by HSS Florida. Choose better, move better, and supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather.
We've had a lot of fun today here at Pahokee. I want to give a shout out to our press box friends, Fred, Ken, Coach Roge, treating us like absolute royalty. 14-0, Pahokee down to Glade Central in the Muck Bowl, but a third down from Central's half-yard line, and I believe, Coach, that run is enough for a first down, and that is going to be the ball game. That was Armand Stinford calling game on that run, and Coach Lamons is out of timeouts, and that is going to be the final score. 14-0. Glade Central taking home their second straight Muck Bowl victory. They had the overtime win last year, and now this year winning 14-0 on the road. Let's get into our Built Ford Tough matchup of the week, brought to you by South Florida Ford. And Coach, how can it be the Muck Bowl? I know the game, 14-0. It seemed like Central really controlled it start to finish, but the community aspect of the Muck Bowl, the respect that these teams have. Coach Roge, who's up here in the press box with us, was telling us about all the great activations that they have. There's a lot of respect between these two teams within football and the community.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and that's what I love about coming to the Glades, because when I think about high school football, I coached and I played in this area. A lot of the players on the east side now, not taking anything away from those teams, but a lot of those players are from the Belglade area. So if those players were still home, I mean, these teams would be even more powerful. But the community you talk about, the respect between these two organizations and the way in which they conduct themselves on the field, no fighting tonight, a lot of penalties, but no fighting. And so you just say to these coaches, take your hat off and tip your hat to them.
Coach, I got to say our Duffy's MVP of the game, Armand Stinford, will we agree with that? He had the touchdown, the receiving touchdown in the first half. He had a plethora of big runs throughout the game. He almost had a 60-yard touchdown, but a holding penalty was ultimately what called it back. He is our Duffy's MVP of the game. I want to do a Boca Bowl look ahead with Coach Jimmy Bell right here. We talked about Pahokee and what they need to do when they're heading into the playoffs, but let's look ahead with Glade Central, coming off a huge rivalry victory. What do you think Omar Huggabook is telling his group after a big win on the road against a rival?
Well, he understands that he won't get 2 victories for this victory, so he's got to get focused on what's next, what's ahead of us now. They've got to play some physical football because in their class, they're going to have to play up. In terms of teams like Sebring that beat them up a couple of weeks ago, they're going to have to be physical at the point of attack. They've got the kids to do it. They've got to find a way to get it done, and they're running the football and throwing the ball down the field is just, what they're ordered to do.
Before we wrap up here, a lot of thank yous once again. Fred, my good buddy at Pahokee on the announcing. Coach Roge, who has been absolutely incredible to us tonight. I truly had a blast at my first Muck Bowl. Coach Bell, I appreciate you being here with me filling in for Kat. But it's always a pleasure with you two, partner. We have a blast every time we do this, and I'm looking forward to the next time we're together.
Plum pleasing pleasure, man. Every time we get together, it's excitement. And you said your dad was listening. That's a beautiful thing. And if he says that and I'm not good, I'm going to kidnap you. I'm not going to let you go home and eat dinner with him. But, no, I always have fun with you, man. We laugh, and we put excitement into this thing. And even though we expected a lot of points tonight, Pahokee had Glade Central right where they wanted them in terms of the low-scoring game. They just couldn't figure out a way to get it into the end zone.
Yeah, and a lot of the times they were trying to go deep, Coach, but it just wasn't there. The deep ball was not there tonight, and I think that's ultimately what did them in. Final score 14-0 here in the Muck Bowl. 24 wins for Glades in the rivalry, 10 wins for Pahokee is how the current rivalry stands. And listen, if you want to argue that, Coach Roach is 80 years old, and he told me that's what it is, so I'm going to listen to him. Final score 14-0 on your HSS Florida Game of the Week. Appreciate everyone who watched on that Top 63 stream. Appreciate Christian Cat for letting me fill in for him, our program director Brian Rowitz, and our GM Stephanie Prince. We'll talk to you guys next time. We'll see you later. Bye.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
College basketball is coming to Sunrise. Catch a thrilling doubleheader at the 2025 AutoNation Orange Bowl Basketball Classic. Be there at Amerant Bank Arena on Saturday, December 13th as the defending national champions, the Florida Gators, take on George Washington, and the Florida State Seminoles battle the UMass Minutemen. Tip-off is at noon. Bring the whole family and enjoy the pregame party